Milk Crate Marauder.
I need to get set up for my show. Bottle of water. George, you want to do an announce?
Be happy. Good morning, everyone. This is the holiday season. I would like to remind everyone to be jolly, merry, and happy. 3 words that sum up the joy of the holiday season. Now, here are 3 words that sum up how I feel this holiday season. Fuck Hank Azarias. Happy holidays from the Howard Stern Show.
Wow. Good for you, getting that off your chest.
And I think he deserves it, so.
What's your schedule? Have you been going to theater and stuff all week?
I have indeed. Yesterday for the matinee, I saw Edward Albee's addition to his classic Zoo Story. You know, Zoo Story was written...
Zeus or Zoo?
Zoo Story.
Zoo Story.
It's a 2-character play about a young, angry, psychotic kid. And I played that role many, many decades ago. And
Artie's still playing that role.
Artie's stuck in that
Not so young anymore.
Not so young anymore. And a very staid businessman.
When you go to these shows,
Yeah.
is it hard for you as an actor to sit there and not be the one on stage?
Oh, yeah. But, you know, obviously, I knew the words for the role of Jerry, but I know that I shouldn't be playing it anymore. You know,
But, I mean, is it hard for you to go to the theater and say, you know, why am I not doing that show?
There are many roles where I feel like leaping up on that stage and taking over, you know. But
You do?
Yes. But when it's a brilliant performance, and this guy was Dallas Roberts, we're going to be hearing a lot from him. Fantastic, powerful actor. What do you like?
Do you ever go? I don't know. Who knows?
I'm just thinking he must be cute.
No, actually, he was kind of, you know, he was dirty, filthy. He was
You like that?
That's perfect.
That's your type.
bearded, messy-haired, looking
You don't like
hungry.
beard? You don't like a beard on a man?
It depends on the man. And yeah, you know, once I clean him up, I'm sure he could be...
Does he have a nice body?
You couldn't tell because he had coats and, you know, all sorts of layers of clothes.
But he looks
Dallas
like a
Roberts.
diamond in the rough.
George, do you feel you're recognized as a great actor? I mean, have you gotten your shot in life to really show off your talents? I mean, Heroes to me is the closest thing that I've seen where you really get to show off some acting, and you don't have to play, you know,
Second fiddle.
Second fiddle. You get to be a scene stealer. Do you think that you have been gypped in life of those roles?
No, because in the theater, I've had those opportunities. I think the best role I had was a play that I did here in New York in the 70s called Year of the Dragon, about a young Chinese American. And then we filmed it for TV in the theaters in America.
So you feel you've gotten your shot?
I did Equus last year in Los Angeles, where I got to play the Richard Burton, Anthony Hopkins, Anthony Perkins, and Leonard Nimoy role.
How old were you when you knew you needed to be on stage?
I knew when I was about 8 or 9, I enjoyed performing. But my
when
parents,
growing up Japanese American, did you say to yourself, and everyone else must have said to you, George,
yeah,
you're never going to get a shot in theater or on stage. There's so few roles for people like us.
Right. My father knew that.
And he told you, don't do this.
He urged me to go into architecture. And I did start off my college years as an architecture student.
So when do you get the Star Trek break, so to speak, where it shows that you could actually have a career doing this?
Well,
how many years after architecture school?
No, it wasn't after. I didn't finish because after my second year as an architecture student, I was back in Los Angeles for the summer, and I didn't have a summer job. And my father happened to be looking through the papers, and he saw an ad for a dubbing job. And he said, George, you're not working. Why don't you go and audition for this? You're a ham. And so I went and auditioned. I got it. And my first paying gig was, would you believe, in 1957, exactly 50 years from this year. So
wow.
I've been getting paid.
So your father who discouraged you was the one who found your first job?
My first job. And then
how ironic.
I went back to Berkeley as an architecture student, but that's when, you know, the seed was planted. And so I came back and I said, Dad, I have to go to New York and study at the Actors Studio. He talked me out of that one. He was a businessman, and he knew how to make a deal. He said, all right, George, you want to go to New York, and study at the Actors Studio. That's a respected acting school, but New York is a staggeringly expensive place, a crowded place, a competitive place, and you got to be willing to do that all on your own. But he said...
No help from your father?
No help from my father.
How did you support yourself?
Well, no, but he said, here's the other side of that deal. Your mother and I would like you to have a college degree, something that says you're a legitimately educated person. The Actors Studio, as distinguished as it is, won't give you that. UCLA has a fine acting school. And if you go there, they will give you that documentation that you're an educated person. And if you go to UCLA, you'll have subsidy. You go to New York on your own, or UCLA in the Theater Arts Department with subsidy. You decide.
Well, in 2 seconds, you'd grab UCLA.
I was a practical kid.
That's right.
Wait, your father...
Didn't you do voiceover work for the old Godzilla movies?
I did.
Good for you.
My first one was Rodan, and I did a Godzilla movie, and then I did another one called...
You did Rodan?
Rodan.
You did the voiceover.
The
so
voiceover,
you dubbed in other words...
English dialogue.
Right, because most of those Japanese films were in Japanese, and you were brought in to do the...
English.
Look, there's Rodan. Uh-oh. We must get through the...
How many characters would you play?
Well, I played the voice of the panic hordes of Tokyo.
Oh.
As well as about...
That was you.
That was me. Yeah. I can't tell you how many Saturday afternoons I listened to you.
I definitely enjoyed your work.
Oh, did you? So you were listening to me way back then.
Definitely. I remember.
George, why are you leaving New York at the end of the week? What is on your schedule? Are you going back to shoot more episodes of Heroes?
No.
What's going on?
I'm working on an independent film called Red Canvas, a mixed martial arts fighting thing. And, the issue is the use of drugs. And I'm playing the CEO, a rather shady, corrupt CEO of a drug corporation.
I can see you doing it. In light of your role on Heroes, you play a very good seedy kind of mogul.
Maybe that's another new stereotype for me now.
Good. Well, hey, you can't do badly with that kind of stuff.
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun.
All right. I just wanted to know what you're up to. I must say, once again, the emails, well, what can I tell you? All positive for George. Everybody loves when you're here, George. They say you make an excellent addition to this show, so I thank you for that.
Well, I've been getting some emails, too, particularly about the quote, Artie's coming out.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
And I've been thinking on that.
Yeah.
You were brilliant. But no one is so brilliant. I mean, really great performances always have...
You feel he might have had a gay experience.
I'm going to cover for Artie by going along with the joke. That was a joke.
Artie was really coming out.
Wow. No, he's straight. He
is straight.
But there are a lot of straight men who have that one experience. And it tortures them.
I was consumed with this bit yesterday. In fact, Beth rarely listens to the show. She said, I tuned in your show yesterday. I heard Artie coming out to George. She goes, oh, my God, that was so mean, but I laughed so hard. So I was like, yeah, it was really funny. And then, my mind starts taking over, and I go, oh, I wish you could do it again, and then have Artie go, and George, look, I don't even talk like this. This has all been an act. This is my real voice.
Yeah, I'm really effeminate.
I'm so effeminate.
Oh, no.
And I just want you to know that in front of you to talk in my real voice is so comforting. And
when I'm at home, I just...
Now, that's going to take acting on his part.
Artie, that would be good.
I love Artie for what he is.
Artie, do you think that would have been funny?
Guy.
Like if you were mincing,
Can you transform yourself into a woman?
I didn't think of that, but I thought it would have been funny if at some point I had just started crying uncontrollably.
Right. I was thinking...
And just put my head on his shoulder and just cried for 15 minutes.
Really boo-hooing?
And see how long you would have just let me lay there.
It's easy in retrospect to sit there and come up with ideas.
Second guess it, but you did a great job.
Yeah, you did a great job, but all of a sudden I'm standing in the shower and I'm thinking about the bit, and I went, all of a sudden I could see Artie going, look, George, now I'm doing my real voice for you. Even if George didn't, it would have been funny. He goes, I feel good now, because I can talk like this. And also, do you ever think a man as great as you could ever love me? And then George would be like, well, of course, Artie. Someone will love you. No, but I mean,
See, he could take it even further, and he could say, under these, pair of corduroys and the flannel shirt, I'm wearing a frilly bra.
I also like a cross dress.
If he had done that, I would have burst out laughing.
I don't think you would have.
I don't think you would have.
I believe you would have gone with it.
I don't think so.
I think you were in the zone. You were in the helping.
He was. There was truth in that performance.
I thought maybe I would just start redecorating Sal and Richard.
You know what?
Yeah, it drives me crazy how he doesn't dress well.
I have the perfect casting as a replacement for that lead in Hairspray. You know, the mother
Artie
role?
Lang, yes.
The Harvey Kirstein role. You would be brilliant in it.
I don't think so.
We don't need a fat suit for you.
Right.
And you're a wonderful actor.
Artie, no fat suit. You saved them a lot of money.
I got to say, I saw some of that on a plane, and it's that John Travolta. That's the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Him dressed up like a woman?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, and the performance is like he really becomes a broad. He's like, it's his dream part.
Let me read you some reaction to the whole Artie coming out thing. As long as you're first of all, here's a guy who says Artie should just stop bitching about the show or quit the show. After hearing Artie on the show, and more so on the wrap-up show, he really should just quit. He's showing less respect to the show than Jackie when he held out every year. Artie obviously does not want to be there. He's lazy. He hates his job where you work 4 days a week and have about 20 ridiculous weeks of vacation. Nobody wants to hear a guy on the show who hates it. I don't care how big of an Artie fan they are. Fire him and tell him to quit already and stop bringing the show down. Well, which is it? Should we fire him or have him quit?
Just fire me, then tell me to quit.
But here's a reaction to gay Artie and George Takei. This is the greatest thing I've ever heard. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's a guy who didn't like it. Artie gay prank. I don't often shut the show off, but this is shitty. You used George for cheap thrills, disappointing and heartless, fucked up radio. The show is usually wonderful, fantastic. This was mean-spirited and callous, George.
I'm going along with it.
All right. When Artie's fat ass nods off around 10 a.m., George should fuck his ass and make him humble. What about that? If Artie falls asleep during the show, would you just stick your penis in his ass?
It's not a sexual love that I have for him.
Right.
We're not saying it should be sex.
What?
For pleasure.
For pleasure.
Yeah.
The coming out of the closet bit is the funniest thing I've ever heard. You see, that's how you make gay funny. That is why Artie is a comedian and Richard and Sal are hacks.
He's a brilliant actor, too.
Artie coming out to George is one of the most awful betrayals of trust you have ever perpetrated on the show in more than 20 years that I've been listening to it. How could you have done that to George? He is one of the kindest souls ever to have been part of the show.
What if Artie's only brilliant at pretending to be gay?
I know, but there's money in that.
That's where the brilliance is. He's been able to cover the truth for all these years.
Oh, you're talking about it that way.
Yeah.
He's acting now.
Oh, he's a gifted
While
actor.
it may have been acting to Artie, it's part of George's everyday reality. Really, guys, this was cruel, not humorous. So then there was a bunch of those who said it was mean. But also those who just thought it was great. The fact that George didn't walk off the show or worse, just refuses to come in on the show today, goes to show the kind of person you all have the pleasure and honor of working with. George is awesome. Best thing next to keeping Artie. They're the new Abbott and Costello. Here's another one, finally. The Artie comes out of the closet bit was hysterical. One of the best bits the Stern Show has ever done. Nice job, Artie. Good thinking, Benji. You guys rock.
Bravo, Benji.
And finally, I get why you thought it was a funny idea, but you guys are assholes. By the way, Artie, you are a good actor. Who knew? Lesson for George, never let your guard down. It's never over.
I thought I knew now how to navigate this show. You keep coming up with new ways of shattering this trust that I have in people in the world.
By the time we're done with you, you won't trust anybody.
Even you. I still have a grain of trust in you.
By the way, a lot of people are turned off to Hank Azaria now because they're such George fans. That Hank Azaria is a real asshole. He seems to be a real waste of sperm. That's what it says here.
Wow.
Yesterday was brought up whether Richard was retarded. Ralph put out the theory that he thinks Richard Christie is retarded. And someone said, no, we think J.D. is stupider. And J.D. came in to defend himself by saying his articulateness. makes him sound more stupider. So he disagrees, and he is not
That
retarded.
is a T-shirt. I gotta print that up.
Did anybody, I didn't hear the wrap-up show yesterday, did anybody really believe in Ralph's theory? Because I got to tell you, I thought about it, and he made a couple of good points, but there's no way Richard's retarded, right?
No, I think a lot of people thought it was a thing of coming from the sticks, but who knows? I don't think Richard's retarded.
Well, the other thing that was brought up on the wrap-up show is that if you were in Richard's element, he would be the superior being.
Right.
Well, I got to speak for Richard.
Yeah. What planet is it where you can keep shit in your ass and that makes you intelligent? What is that, George?
I got to speak for Richard. Richard and his girlfriend Christy took Brad and me to Tavern on the Green for.
Well, it shows you how stupid he is.
Yeah.
He was in Christmas heaven. I mean, that is gorgeously decorated.
He's a guy who lives in New York and he goes to Tavern on the Green? Isn't that reserved for tourists?
Yes.
Pretty much.
But you should not be the victim of your own sophistication.
Right.
I'm an unashamed tourist. I've been.
Well,
I mean,
you
I
don't
used
live
to live
here.
in New
You
York.
can be.
No, I lived here in the 60s. I lived here in the 90s.
But you don't live here now.
I don't live here now.
How was the food at the Tavern on the Green?
Well,
Was
it
it
was
good?
Tavern on the Green food.
It was green.
Why can't Tavern on the Green have good food?
Did you get the rubber steak?
Do you realize Tavern on the Green would be the
You
most...
can't eat that decor.
Everyone would go to Tavern on the Green every
Well, I
day.
don't go for the decor. I mean, to go for the food, I go for the decor.
Well,
You could have both.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be too
But
much of a
that's true.
stretch.
I mean, it's funny that the Tavern on the Green is the most beautiful restaurant in Manhattan because it's right in Central Park. It's the only restaurant in Central Park,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful view.
What a fantastic sight.
So why not just improve the food and then have the most killer
It
restaurant?
probably would cost too much money.
Would it?
Yeah. 'cause
Exactly.
there's-
Well, it already
there's only-
costs too much
there's
money.
only so much room in the restaurant. They've got to do like a turnover. They're getting people in there anyway.
Right.
Yeah, otherwise, they would have, to pay for a really great chef, and you have to charge $800 for a steak
That's
dinner.
like, that reminds me of, this is actually the truth in baseball. Wrigley Field is such a pleasant place to go. It sells out whether the Cubs suck or not.
Right.
It's just good to hang there.
So it's
Yeah.
like people will go.
And that's the same thing with Tavern on the Green. It probably costs, to get a great chef in Manhattan, that's a lot of money, and it's some fresher food or
Not
something.
every great chef has made a name for themselves yet.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to spend any time
They
going to
can
look
get
for
the
the one.
chef from Tico Tacos.
Yeah, he's available, I think.
Richard, how was your evening with George and
It
Brad?
was beautiful. Oh my God, we sat right next to a Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
We were next to a window. You see all the Christmas lights outside, and it was snowing while we were eating. So it was perfect. And
when you walk in, the entry hall is draped in red velvet.
Yeah.
Wasn't that magical?
Yeah, it was. And I had hot
you
apple
hold
cider with rum and.
Oh,
It was delicious.
Tawny.
But I like the food. I had the crab cakes. I thought they
Well,
were
of
good.
course you did. You don't know. You eat Tico Taco.
Tico Taco, you cried when they closed.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it, Robin.
Oh, please.
So there you
can't
go.
now.
That was very nice. In fact, Beth said to me, I'd like to go to dinner with George and Brad. I said, well, maybe we'll do it. The next time he comes around, we'll take him to
Oh,
dinner.
we had a great time.
Oh, it was a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
Next
Thank
time
you.
around, I'll get you, George. We'll,
Yeah,
All
maybe
right.
you can have a better meal.
Yeah, maybe.
I had a hot dog for the
Be
main
kind,
course.
Robin. Be kind.
Is he unsophisticated, George? Was he very, very, I don't know, rural?
Did he use his napkin and
Oh,
fork and spoon?
And you can be truthful, George. I won't get offended.
No, he was on his best matter.
He didn't eat with his
just
feet?
Blended in with all the tourists.
All right.
Didn't drink too much?
No, he didn't. As a matter of fact, he said, we got to be up tomorrow morning, so I'm limiting myself.
I see.
I'm limiting
So,
myself
yes.
to a quart of vodka.
How many hot rums did you have?
I think you had two.
Just
Yeah.
two, yeah.
All right, good for you.
And that was over a 2 or 3 hour stretch. So.
And how is Brad with George? Do they interact?
Yeah,
in a
they're
nice
great.
way?
Oh, they're such a sweet couple.
Brad never punches George or anything.
No,
like that.
I mean, Brad, kind of rolls his eyes at him once in a while.
Oh, and I got a couple of kicks on the shin.
Oh, did you? You little devil.
But it's they're awesome. They're great together.
All right, well, there it is. It's one big happy family. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Very fascinating. Well, there you go. Richard is not retarded.
It was a lovely evening.
Yeah. And
He
Richard.
can hold up his end of the conversation?
And
Yeah, hey,
And Christy
what's it
is
like to
delightful.
fuck a guy in the ass?
I've never done that.
his girlfriend, have you all met her?
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
delightful.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's very nice.
She's way too good for him.
I'm very impressed that Richard was able to get someone like that.
Yeah, we still don't know how it happened.
She's a delight.
Let's see him hold on to her.
Hopefully she'll wake up one day.
George, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Howard?
Hey.
I'm just wondering, man, when are you going to bring George back?
You miss him already?
Oh, man, you got it, dude.
I like this guy's call. He misses George Takei already.
And he's George.
Yeah, his name is George, too.
That's fabulous George from L.A.
We didn't even start the show yet, and he misses George.
I know. He didn't even know George wasn't here. George could have been a surprise guest.
I miss him, too. No one has said anything bad about what I'm drinking or eating yet. Now about him.
So annoying when, like, you're eating. You were eating extra amounts, I think, in front of him just to freak him out.
Maybe I was trying to be rebellious against him.
I think that's your general nature, that you would do that.
Yeah, that just hit me, because, like, last week, I noticed, like, you were eating, like, you couldn't even stop when we were on mic to stop eating. And I went, it must be because George is sitting there, like, staring at everything.
And George would stare.
Oh, yeah, he's fascinated. It's almost like he's turning Artie into a zoo animal. And, like, she just puts you in a cage and watch you eat.
Well, when I would be eating, you could feel someone staring at you. You know, the eyes are on you. And I look over and it would just go, oh, the butter.
I don't know if this is universally true, but it must be. Like, when I'm eating, I cannot stand when people watch me.
Of course not. No one wants that. I mean, you know.
I mean, I just hate eating in front of people. And even, like, you know, when I lived on Long Island, I would take my bowl of food. Like, you know, when I feed my dog something, my dog, like, if I give her a biscuit, she'll take it and run into the other room with it. Yeah. And, you know, part of that survival instinct, because you don't want anybody else grabbing your food.
Right.
But at the same point, mine was like, I would take my bowl and whip it downstairs.
But maybe it's sort of the same thing. It comes from that same kind of thing.
Yeah, but do you dislike when people watch you eat?
I hate it. Sometimes I catch myself eating, and I hate to see it.
I'm okay in the restaurant if I'm sitting at a table with people, but I hate it.
But it's even worse when it's a elderly Asian gay science fiction icon.
How many of those are there? You had the one.
Yeah, that's it.
He observes you eating.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And, like, I'd look over, because I like watching that dynamic between Artie and George. And you'd look over, and George would, like, just blatantly looking at Artie eating.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't ashamed.
Watching everything. And with a look like this, like, this is a visual, but, you know.
Yeah.
It was disgust.
It was. If you were going to put disgust in the dictionary.
Yeah, and looking over what's going on, and sort of he feels protective. I guess, like he
loves Artie.
Yeah, like he's trying to guide him.
Yeah.
And, like, you're not going to guide him during a 4-hour radio show, you know? You're just not.
But then the final blow was when George brought in the chocolates.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He brought in that box of
a week of that.
Chocolate. Yeah, a week of, like, telling Artie what a fat fuck he is, basically. And then, you know, with all the right sentiment behind it, but, you know, and caring. And then at the end, he says, I have Christmas gifts for you all. And he hands us this big box of chocolates. Of course, none of us open them up except Artie goes, hey, okay, Christmas gift.
Dives right in.
That was very Belushi-esque.
Well, in a way, I wanted to, like, show him, I wanted to make him feel guilty. Watching me eat.
Well, so Artie opens up the chocolates, and they're these big, fattening Godiva chocolates with truffles and whatever that is.
They're heaven in a box.
Heaven in a box. They were really good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Artie starts eating them. And George then's like, you can only have one a week.
One your ass. I'm like, George, could you only have one cock?
And Robin, you had the best line because you he even said, you busted me. Robin goes, well, you probably didn't put that much thought into these gifts. I mean, if you really cared about Artie, would you be giving him a box of chocolates? Yeah. You know, I got him a case of Jack Daniels. I know that.
You're kind of thoughtless, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in another way.
In a whole different way.
I think I don't know if Godiva makes an elliptical machine, though.
My defense, I don't think now I would get you a case of Jack Daniels.
I felt so bad. Yeah, now you'd probably give me a case of heroin.
Right. I just have it imported.
I felt so bad about that prank when I had a busy weekend because I had to fly and everything.
I can't play my answering message.
On the plane, I started to, like, write a letter to George. Like,
really?
You know, but because I really felt so bad, and I know he didn't care ultimately at the end of the week, but every sense I had at the end wanted me to put, P.S., by the way, I really...
I'm really gay.
You really wanted to string him along again.
You know what? I've got to play you. I still have Artie's message on my machine. I should just I know I don't take a break this early, but maybe I'll take my break, go over... Because while we're on the topic, I should do it.
Yeah.
Let me run into Scott's studio.
Get the message?
Yeah, I could do it live here on the air, but I have a whole complicated answering machine thing, and it takes forever for me to get the message up.
Yeah.
Unless you want to hear all that.
I don't know. You want to go through that?
How long does that take? That takes a long time? It's all about how many commands is it? Mine's like
a voice
3.
command thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to speak?
Yeah, I got to go next message, and then I go, what's it say?
Right.
And then if we want to stop it. Do you mind me playing that, by the way?
Of course not.
Yeah, okay,
no, of course not.
How do you dial out here?
See, you don't even know that. You can't even start the process.
Yeah, all right. Look, let me go take Fred will knock out like 2 or 3 commercials. Sure. That's all the time I need. Hey, Scott, can you be ready in there to tape? Responses.
Scott's ready.
Scott's ready? All right, on your mark. Fred, are you ready?
We're ready, dude.
Get set. Go. You know, I went back and recorded your voicemail.
All right.
But I don't know. But
What?
It's actually in light of the prank and everything. I don't know if you even need to hear it, because it's just Artie explaining to me what happened. But I remember at the time it got me, laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, yeah. Now I'm intrigued. You spent all that time getting it recorded.
This is Artie right after he did the George Takei thing. And to show you,
He's
George...
a little shaken.
He's shaking because he's like, George is going to think I just did the worst thing in the world to George. I came out to him. And then Artie didn't even tell him he was kidding. So George went home thinking...
Right. George spent the whole evening thinking Artie was
No, well, yeah, because what got to me, this is as soon as I got back to my apartment. It was really eating that way on me, so I called Howard.
This is Artie feeling guilty.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
That's what's funny about it.
Yeah, here he is.
Howard, it's Artie. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon here on Tuesday. I'm sorry to bug you, but I did that George Takei bit where I went into Sal and Richie's studio, just me and him, and I essentially came out to him. And, people were asking me how it went, and the answer is it actually went too good. You'll see the tape, but I wanted to give you a heads up because I feel so awful about this. It's one of the worst things I've ever done. It's worse.
So I'm listening to this message. Now, mind you, I've gotten a call from Gary on my voicemail before this going, Wolf, you better call. Artie's all, freaked out. And I'm like, oh, no, what did these guys do? And I had forgotten completely
Right.
that
You didn't even remember the bit.
I forgot the bit. We discussed it like a month or 2 ago, and I didn't even remember that Artie was going to come out to George. So now I'm like, uh-oh, what the hell is on this tape?
Than any gay joke I've ever made. He fell for it hook, line, and sinker. We were in there for like 15 minutes. He's such a nice guy. He's such a wonderful man, like compassionate. He shared like secrets of his when he came out that he dealt with to try to help me with my problem. And he started to tear up. And I actually, after I figured we had enough good stuff, I actually stopped him because when he finds out it's a joke, the more personal stuff he told me, I'm sure the madder it'll be if he's capable of getting mad at anyone. This is going to be like a punch in the gut to him. He was so nice and cool about it.
So now I'm thinking, oh, my God, this must be some
what
tape.
the hell did George tell?
Well, we edited the tape, too, before we aired it.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes came out of that tape, which George was uncomfortable with on the air. But I can still swear what George had edited out, he's told us in the past.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He has on the air.
But there was one little detail he said in the tape that I don't think he ever mentioned.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And he hugged me at the end, and I almost started crying, and I'm not even really gay. My point is, Gary's looking at it. I want you to take a look at it, too, and decide what we want to do. I mean, now, of course, there's no way out of it. I forgot how we wanted to end it, so I thought the funniest thing would be to tell him that, I finally got some FU money put away, and I'm not worried about my career as much as I used to. So this week, or maybe tomorrow on the show, I was going to come out on the air, and I needed George's support sitting beside me while I came out to the audience and to you guys. And he would go, and he was like, "Oh, anything you need, I'll be there. I'll do whatever you need. I'll be holding your hand." And he couldn't have been cooler. So I left that option, but you really got to look at the tape, and I don't know. It went too good, and I'm worried about it. I feel awful about it. I really do. So, again, you don't have to call me back. I just wanted to give you a heads up, and we'll talk in the morning if you want. But
now my mind is racing, going, uh-oh, I better call everyone and find out what's going on here.
You should see it. It's crazy. I can't believe some of the shit that came out of my mouth. I told him I fucked the comic in the ass on the road. He fucked me in the ass. I said we made sweet love. He blew me. I blew him. He believed every word of it. So, all right. I'm sorry to bug you. I'll talk to you later.
So I get that message, and I'm like, oh, like maybe this is going to be a train wreck, and we lose George as our announcer.
Right? Yeah.
Because George is such a great guy. I really do love the guy.
Yeah.
And then I had a whole thing with Sal and Richard I wasn't even going to tell any of you about.
What?
Well, but I actually, to tell you how serious I am, I had a meeting with them off the air about this because, I was really pissed. And I
Something they did?
Well, yeah, I mean, I love those guys' energy and everything. Sal and Richard will, die for the show.
Absolutely,
But they grabbed George in the hall. And they had him come in and sing song parodies that they wrote.
Oh.
And George is such a nice guy. He'll do anything for the show. And I heard these songs, and I told them, I'm not going to air them because, I'm going to air them now because I wouldn't do it when George was here because I said, could you guys just not grab George in the hall? Like, have enough brains to go to Gary first.
Uh-huh.
And tell Gary you're thinking of a song that you want George to record. I said, anytime, I said, look, these are like common sense things. Whenever there's like a celebrity or a guy who's important to the show, you guys just can't grab the dude and start doing shit with him. First of all, you don't even know that George isn't exhausted after the show and wants to just fucking chill out a little bit. And I said, just check with Gary. So they assure me they're going to check with Gary.
What happened when they didn't check with Gary this time?
They're treating George like a whack-packer is what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Not cool,
Here's some. I can't even listen to these because it upsets me so much. I was so upset I hauled their ass into a meeting and tried to explain common sense to them.
Well, good luck on that one.
Brad's big balls hanging in his underwear. When they're in my face, I'll take a taste and spit out the pubic hair. Brad's big balls smacking on my rear. 'Cause juicy nuts slapping on my butt makes me one happy queer.
I mean, can you imagine
Poor George.
Yeah,
First he's got Artie, then he's got Sal and Richard. It's like landmines everywhere he turns.
Believe me, before I did my bit, I needed papers signed. It was a month before I.
But you know what I mean? Like he might not want to sing the word I'm a happy queer.
Queer.
And he's such a good guy.
Brad, number one, is such a private person and doesn't like all this notoriety.
No, but like George could have been very offended by this and said, you know what, I've had enough of this shit. They could have just blown the whole thing.
And Brad probably is offended by it.
And George goes home to Brad, and he's very affected when Brad is upset.
He's got to deal with it,
I'm dreaming of a white penis, just like the ones I used to blow.
I'm not saying they're not funny.
They're funny, but you could have had anybody sing that.
It could have been a disaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, for the joke, I don't think you need George Takei.
Well, George does love singing, you can tell.
Oh, he does. He wishes to be on a musical on Broadway, I'm sure.
With a sweet pink glisten, even when it's pissing, it's an...
Oh, my God.
Artie, the cuddly muffin, works on the Howard Stern show. He has a big round belly that feels like pizza dough. He's covered in soft brown bear fur.
Bear fur.
And has a plump round butt. If you're in need of a Pepsi, grab 2 quarters from his gut.
Well, anyway, that one wasn't so offensive except
How
Artie.
much did they have him singing? It sounds like a long recording session.
Well, what happened is... Yeah, Gary, finish the story.
The thing is, after I heard this, I go, guys, my God, I can only imagine what you asked them to do, they didn't want to do, and they showed me one that they showed to George, and George showed to Brad, and Brad wouldn't let him do.
Yeah, because
it was something about a glory hole.
Yeah, but sticking your cock through a glory hole.
Right,
I mean, these are the ones he would do. So, like they could have easily just offended the shit out of him, and I wouldn't have known what was going on. And then everyone...
And he thinks this is coming from you.
Oh,
exactly,
I thought of a great new joke to play.
But wait a second, though. Everyone... I love George.
Yeah.
And George is a part of this show. And, you can't just grab him in the halls and ask him to do stuff. And then he assumes I've sanctioned this.
Yes.
Because he trusts me. So I try to explain to them, I love that they wrote songs and thought of something for George to do. Just submit it so I can see it.
Absolutely.
So much goes on here.
And they can maybe put it on a schedule for George so he, won't be overwhelmed with all this stuff.
And despite what everybody thinks, I don't know everything that goes on around here.
Obviously.
Yeah. In fact, I try to keep myself...
Obviously, you're not in control at all.
I try to keep myself in the dark.
I was going to say, I should call George and say I heard the one about me and go, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I thought we were friends. I mean, that's really offensive.
Fair?
You know what? I couldn't even do that.
Not anymore.
His head would explode.
Sam, what is it? Hank Azaria recently gave an interview.
Yeah.
And he said that George Takei was creepy. That's why he never got asked to be back.
And that's why he was, off
That's
the
why
show.
he never got asked to be back on The Simpsons.
Well, okay, this isn't true. And so,
well, what do you mean it's not true? You think Hank's lying?
I don't think Hank's lying. I'll tell you what really happened on The Simpsons. We were all big fans of Star Trek TOS, the original series. And so in the early days of the show, if we had...
Who knew that?
No one. That's why he had to tell you what he was talking about. Right. Yeah.
If we had a chance to bring someone from that show on to do a voice, we're all very excited to meet them. And we had a sushi chef, and I wanted to hire a Japanese actor, so they brought me a list. There was one person on it. It was George Takei. Yeah. And we put him up in a hotel. And we had a PA pick him up to bring him to the table reading. And the PA was a kid named Joe Boucher. And this was the most gorgeous young man you've ever seen in your life.
Even Sam, who's a heterosexual, could see.
I don't know that he's heterosexual.
Well, listen, I think...
He's an L.A. heterosexual.
Beauty, no matter what. But
all right, go ahead.
This guy was muscular, long hair, he wore these flannel shirts.
Okay.
Wow, Sam.
Model, beautiful. And I guess, George, he made a big thing about coming out, but... when you meet him, he seems gay, right?
Right.
Right. So I guess he flirted with Joe, and this is 20 years ago, and, times have changed. And Joe was a little uncomfortable with it.
So he got creeped out.
Well, no one got creeped out, but it was, he commented on it.
Joe brought it to your attention?
He brought it to our attention. So... we were doing the rewrite after the table reading, and normally with an actor, you just send them the new script the next day, right? But because there was this interesting thing going on, I decided to send every scene over as we did it, and I made Joe go to George's hotel room.
Oh, my God.
So, you creeped everyone out.
Right, you're the creepy
I sent him there 5 times. And I don't know what happened in the room. Honestly, I don't know what happened. But he came back finally and he said, I'm not going back. He said, I'm not going back there. I don't care. He can get his pages the next day.
Fire me.
Fire me.
Yeah.
So,
hey, do you get a piece of the Simpsons movie? Robin did a story yesterday that said the movie generated...
over $500 million.
I expect to see some money from the Simpsons movie.
Do you?
Yes.
What, you expect to, or you just
haven't yet.
I mean, you will get it.
Yes.
Wow. Well, he's into everything.
I haven't seen it.
And you didn't do an ounce of work on it, right?
Well, I serve in a check cashing capacity.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't even have to work on the Simpsons.
Yeah, they just send him money.
He's the creator.
I haven't seen the show since the 4th season.
Wow.
Which is now 16 years ago.
He's V'ger.
So anyway, I think...
great.
I think because of... I kept sending Joe over there, George got the impression that he had this beautiful manservant.
Oh.
Well, whatever.
Like, was sort of at his beck and call, so we were going to do the reading before the record, and...
we tried to get Hank Azaria to call into our show to talk to George about this.
But instead he called Sam.
Well, Hank has called me... Listen, I just got home from a poker game, and I had spoken to Hank earlier today. He was ambushed by the Howard 100 News team outside of his theater, and he was very disquieted by it.
Yeah, I don't have anything to do with that. I don't even know what that news department's up to, but they get me into more situations.
Well, they kind of upped the stakes. So don't you think they've gotten a little...
aggressive?
I think so.
I don't know, though, but they want to interview Hank.
Just my personal opinion, like, there's a lot of interesting characters on this show. There's a lot of really talented, interesting people, but I think that Steve Langford's the weirdest. Like, who goes and stalks him?
Well, they just handed me, the news department just handed me the 4-minute Hank Azaria interview, which JD is just pulling some parts of right now.
Great.
But yeah, Steve Langford got him.
Well, I like that, though. I mean,
all these messages from Hank. So anyway, so the next day at the table reading, George's throat was a little ticklish before the reading, so he stopped the proceedings, and he asked Joe to bring him some hot tea with honey. And Joe did it, and he took a sip, and he said, Joe, you are my angel. So this rugged guy, so the rest of it...
So it creeped everyone out.
Well, he said creeped, but we love George, and, you know, and it caused a little stir, you know.
So he was never asked back, so the story is accurate.
That's not why he was never asked back. We love George, and it's just because on The Simpsons, like, you know, we were struggling a little bit. We didn't have a giant budget. So, like, Hank can do, you know, all you guys can do it too. They can do a really good imitation of him. So if it came up for one line or something, we would have Hank do it. But we love George, and
all right, it's all cleared up.
I think he was playing to the crowd a little bit.
So why did Hank call you? He didn't want the news department on his back?
He wanted to know whether he should, he wanted, listen, I've got all these messages and all this other, the guy's in turmoil, clearly. He wants to know whether he
got to get this
call into you, whether he should call George personally. He wanted to know what the...
Oh, you should call into us.
News department.
I called his management. They never returned my call.
He was, and then he wanted to call in, and then he had to talk about his to confer with his publicist.
We just wanted him to talk to George, and now George isn't here. All right, hey Sam, I got to run.
All right, well,
Thanks.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Happy holidays.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I had a similar incident that he was talking about with George. You know, when we first started with George, we brought him in to be our announcer that first week, and I actually stayed at the same hotel that George stayed at the night before our first broadcast, and I remember... You know, I had to bring George the lines and go to his room. And I remember being, like, a little bit nervous and everything, which I don't know why, because I didn't think George would really be interested in me. And I went there, and absolutely nothing happened. And now I'm wondering what I did wrong.
You look like you. That's what
but he didn't hit on me or anything.
You are a rugged young man.
Yeah, and he's in a committed relationship now. He's not hitting on dudes.
I was just saying, like, I had that exact incident and nothing happened.
Right. But what makes you think you're a hot stud?
Well, I didn't hear that the guy was a hot stud.
Gary's all nervous.
Clearly this guy Sam would have fucked.
Yes, the guy was carrying on. Sam was carrying on about the guy.
I mean, holy shit.
You're not that guy.
Right.
You're not the guy in the flannel shirt.
I guess not.
No. Well, that's why.
He's insulted.
I was really nervous, Bulls.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. I went over to a gay man's room, and he didn't want me.
I don't know.
I was shocked, Bull.
I don't know what it is with straight men who think that every gay guy wants to fuck him, because I went to his room.
That's you.
No, but you always think that, like, oh, I'm going to a gay man's hotel room.
I know you think that.
Oh, you don't think most straight men think that way?
No.
Oh,
I certainly don't. I've never had any indication a gay guy wanted to fuck me.
No, but you don't always think...
I know every gay guy doesn't want to fuck me.
Well, that's
so I'm different than the guys you're meeting.
Unfortunately for me, that's not true. Gay guys just hit on me.
Every gay man wants me.
I'm a gay icon.
I'm the Betty Grable for gay men.
I'm a poster boy.
There's something weird going. You guys know that gay dudes always hit on me.
I'm cheesecake.
I was really nervous going over to George Takei, and then he didn't hit on me. I said, what am I doing wrong?
Am I losing my power?
Do I need to shave?
Yeah.
If you go to Gary page 2, in green are 2 clips of Steve Langford accosting Hank Azaria.
I gotta hear this.
Hank, gotta answer the charges, Hank.
What do you say, Gary 2?
Yes, in green.
Mr. Azaria?
Yeah.
My name is Steve Langford. I'm a reporter for Howard 100 News at Sirius. Wanted to ask you about George Takei.
How did they find him?
Well, he's doing a play.
Oh.
So this is outside the stage door.
It's easy to find a guy doing a play.
But Howard, you have to understand, Steve's a guy who will stand out there for 4 hours, no problem, wait till he gets what he needs.
Okay.
He's like Hinckley.
I talked to Sam Simon about it. He said, of course, he thought you were just kidding around. But, you know, Stern fans were in the unusual position of defending a gay man against you.
Oh, dear. It's a true story. I apologize to George. I never meant to hurt his feelings in any way. He's a great guy, and I love him. You know, but I shouldn't have used the word creepy. I mean, poor George Takei. I mean, he's, you know, a sweet guy. He doesn't need me saying snarky stuff about him. I love him. I'm a huge Star Trek fan.
Right.
So I apologize to George.
That's good. That sounds nice.
All right.
That didn't sound...
Didn't Steve go away after that?
That didn't sound sincere.
I thought he was sincere.
Yeah,
I think that was sincere.
That sounded like I'm going to apologize and I'll get out of my face.
You know what it's like when you're in front of a crowd and you're getting laughs. You go with it, and then it's like, fuck, I'll deal with the problems later. And I
he
think
probably never thought it would get beyond.
Yeah.
Who's playing that stuff? But
We're the only ones who care.
Yeah.
Sam said that he kept sending Joe back and forth to the hotel where George was with script pages in order to give George more of an
fodder?
opportunity. Yeah.
Well, that's how it was all taken. It was always just funny, you know, and we did kid around about that for many years after that. But it wasn't, you know, meant as a slam to George. But I actually really do feel bad about that. He's the sweetest guy in the world, and you know what I mean? Such a nice guy.
And in fact, it's beautiful the way Stern fans, you never would think, but Stern fans are defending this guy against you.
I know. It's, you know, I feel bad about that, but, you know, I'm a huge fan of Howard, too, so I couldn't believe that I got on the wrong side of Howard. I felt bad about that, too, but, you know.
You didn't get on the wrong side.
My apologies, George. Live long and prosper, sir.
He didn't get on the wrong side of me. I thought it was funny.
Howard, just so you know, I mean, it was a 4-minute interview. He apologized like 5 or 6 times to George.
Yeah, it's enough. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
There's no more explaining.
Back off, Langford.
Yeah. I believe George could have been a little creepy.
Well, if they're sending the guy over and over...
Howard, I have one question to ask for you. Do you think this isn't a little homophobic that they let him go because he was talking to a male intern that way? I mean, had it been a male star saying, "Thank you, Angel," if she brought him a cup of water, would that have gotten the same response? Would that person have been dismissed?
He wasn't dismissed for that.
I haven't met one really good comedy writer in L.A. who isn't homophobic.
Right. Just asking.
It's almost a prerequisite.
Yeah.
It's a requirement.
But they're saying they just didn't rehire him because they didn't have the budget.
I don't know.
There it is. Whatever. Who cares? That's what I say.
I think Azaria. Yeah, I think we can give him, you know, absolution at this point.
What's your name? Paul Scrutiny. I've been going to conventions in Philly since I was in my teens. I'm in Valley Forge. In Valley Forge Hotel at the convention center there. And also in 34th Street in Center City. I've been going pretty much all my life.
What's so great about Star Trek?
The stuff they have out now, the tricorders and all the stuff, the gear, all the inventions they're making up now, you know, on TV, Next Generation, like Beam Me Up, Scotty, and stuff like that. The transporter, all that stuff is really cool.
And do you ever fantasize that you're a Star Trek character?
Data. Data is my favorite. Jean-Luc Picard, another good character. He's cool. cool. He says, number one, engage.
You like that phrase?
He says, engage. That's a good phrase.
What is it?
He says, engage. As he says engage.
Which one?
He says, engage.
What phrase?
Engage. It's called engage. Engage.
Spell that.
Engage.
Spell.
He says, he goes like this, engage. You know, like warp 1 or warp 7.
But what does he say, though?
He says, engage. Like engage. And he says, start up the ship. It means engage.
And he moves his finger?
Yeah, Captain Picard moves his finger. He says, engage.
And you like that? Do it again to make sure we got it on camera?
He says, engage.
Do it to the camera?
Engage.
I don't know if your record light's on. Do that again.
Engage. Oh, wait. Yeah, main one. Try again. Engage.
One more time.
Engage.
But don't, treat this serious because, we're at a serious Star Trek convention.
Yeah.
Like, when he says it, he doesn't laugh. So, do it like serious.
Okay, engage. Engage.
But don't smile, though. He doesn't smile when he does it, does he?
But he does a little bit. He does engage. So he does.
But, let's get into the character. Let's get into the character and look real serious. You're the character and you're looking in the camera.
Okay, the character? Okay. He says engage. Number 1. That's it.
But we need a little bit more power. Like, you're an authority.
Okay. Engage.
But no smiling. You're serious. If you want them to engage, you have to tell them and you have to be real serious and no smiling.
Okay. And engage.
See, I'm still not buying it. I want you to, really get into the character.
Okay. And engage. Number 1.
Let's try it again.
Engage. Number 1.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are you? And welcome to the show. And I am really happy to see that all week our good friend and announcer, George Takei, is here. Hi, George.
Good morning. It's been much too long. There's been a lot going on in here.
Yes, and
he's in constant communication with Artie, which is, I find, very interesting.
The last time you were here, your first day, Artie was out, and Artie's out again.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't mean I have something to do with that.
I don't think you do, but there's
But I do have a lot to talk to Artie about.
Where is
we have
I don't
lot
know.
to cover here.
I'm the first person to say Artie's entitled to be sick once in a while, but he announced yesterday to Jason that he was sick early in the day. What happened was Artie, that
was this morning.
Oh, that was this morning?
Yeah, he asked Jason to come by and pick something up, and then he said he's not coming in. And I think he did that because he didn't want to leave a message.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on now.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you what this weekend was like. I heard from Artie on Friday.
Yeah.
Because he got these Yankee tickets that he wanted to give me for the charity. And he was, upbeat, and he was like, I got these tickets, and, but Monday is opening day, blah, 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 blah. Then I told him about the Rolling Stones thing on Sunday, and he said, I couldn't get a ticket. So I got him a ticket, and he was like, great, gung-ho, I'll meet you there, we're going to have a great time. On Sunday, he called Jim, and he said, I completely forgot I had a family function that I have to do. My mother just reminded me of it. Now, he told me about that family function on Friday.
Yeah.
But now he was claiming that he couldn't go to the Rolling Stones because of the family function that he had forgotten.
Yeah.
That sounds to me, and he only woke up at 1 o'clock or something, and now he's got to go to a family function.
Why did you say you didn't want to go?
Right. And then today he's out of work.
Yeah.
Well, I think Artie knew that I was coming, and I hope I'm not being overly self-centered or egocentric. But
you think he's afraid to face you?
Because we have so much to talk about.
I don't think that's it, George, though. I don't think he's...
You don't think so?
You think this is homophobia?
Well, because he's had a lot of problems over the last 3 months that I haven't been here.
Yes.
That run-in with high-pitched Mike.
Yes, and then
and
the cupcake.
particularly, because he promised that he was going to do a public service announcement for the Human Rights Campaign. And I've talked to the staffer there at the Human Rights Campaign, and she told me that she sent him a script.
Yeah.
And
he read it on the air.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yes.
And he didn't want to do that, but he asked for some bullet points that he could incorporate, and he wanted to write it himself.
Right.
And then there's apparently been some conversation between Teddy and Anastasia, the woman at the Human Rights Campaign, and then it stopped. And Anastasia tells me that she's been calling Teddy, and the responses haven't been coming. So Artie's been dragging his feet, and particularly after that run-in with high-pitched Mike, I think he feels a little skittish about the whole thing. And I don't know.
So it is your fault that he's not here today.
Well, I wanted to ask him what his thinking is on that public service announcement, because I don't think there's going to be too much credibility to it.
No, I don't think so either.
Absolutely none.
No, I don't see any.
Any at all.
I don't see any remorse or what do
And
they
then
call
I
that?
thought maybe he should just write out a check and give it to the Human Rights Campaign. But
like $1 million. What was the deal? Every time he says the F word,
$100.
it would be $100 to your organization,
The Human Rights Campaign.
right? And
However, that money is tainted money.
Well, that's what the people at Lifebeat said.
That's right. That's right. And I don't know whether that's going to be acceptable.
How do we clean up that money?
we have to launder it.
Launder it.
We have to put it through an account. Call Elliot Spitzer. He knows how to do that.
That's right.
Yeah, well, Artie's Cupcake, too, the one that raises money to fight AIDS.
Right.
They just turned Lifebeat. They turned down Artie's money.
They don't want any more money from Artie Lang.
Yeah. Right.
Well, isn't that the official
what?
word?
This is the toughest thing ever. The hardest part of the whole thing was that there was a check presented for $10,000 that was returned to Crumbs.
Wow. They really are serious.
What? 10,000.
But, because it really, Artie could do so much. Because of the people that love him, they're the people that, generally tend to use that word, banning it about.
You think the only Artie fans use that word?
Well, no, there are more. But Artie could make a significant difference. But
well, you're going to have to confront him tomorrow if he comes.
Well, I hope
in.
he comes
shows
in.
up.
He might stay out all week.
Can I give you a stat?
Yeah.
So we looked it up, including today. 3 of the last 4 of George's appearance, Artie's been out the first day.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That, you know what? I remember last time Artie wasn't here when George was here.
Well, what psychologically could that mean?
I'm feeling very self-conscious about that.
I don't think it's a conscious move.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what psychologically is going on that he misses George's first day all the time?
I have a thought.
Means he's anti-Asian or anti-gay. It's got to be one. Or maybe both.
You know what I think it is?
Yeah.
Artie's almost like, there's a part of it, I think that every day Artie gets up and doesn't want to come here, not because of us, just because it's hard to get up. And I think that maybe subconsciously he's like, George is here, they don't need me today.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
It'll be a good day to take off.
Right, it's a good day to take off because they got somebody to talk to.
I do have to have the conversation with Artie. We work a 4-day week. It ain't the roughest gig in the world to get in here.
And he's missing after a 4-day weekend, a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, but he goes on these gigs on weekends.
No, he wasn't working.
He wasn't working this weekend.
No.
Well, then that makes it even harder to get up early in the morning.
Oh,
He's had 3 or 4 mornings of sleeping in.
You think he gets used to it?
And my first day is always on a Monday.
Right.
So maybe that could be it.
That could be it. Well, all right. Listen, George Takei is here. He is a good
Subbing
friend.
for Artie now.
You want to do an announce? I don't know if you want to start off the morning with some sort of announcement. Go ahead. Our announcer, George Takei. I turn the microphone over to him.
Good morning, everyone. George Takei here. We've got bald Republicans, we don't have this furry, cuddly muffin, chocolate-breasted Nubians, scary Martians, hemorrhoid-inflicted prank callers, bored, big-tooth producers, and fat, sweaty, blotchy writers, All on the Howard Stern Show.
Wonderful.
We've got it all right here.
And by the way, as long as we're talking to George right now, tomorrow we'll be playing the newly weird game with George Takei.
I'm looking forward to that.
It's going to be George Takei and his life mate,
Brad
Altman.
Evil Dave versus Evil Dave and his
New
significant girlfriend.
New, is it?
Well, she's a year old.
More than that.
More?
Yeah. Blue Iris and her man. So it's going to be a very, very stiff competition. We'll see which couple knows each other the best.
Who do you put your money on?
George.
Of course.
Well, we've been together. You know, initially we're calling it the newlywed game.
Newly weird game.
Yeah, we're not wed. But
that's why it's
we've
weird.
been together for a long time.
Yeah, my money's on you. But we'll see. We'll see. You'll be surprised. You never know who.
I know what you mean.
You miss things.
Oh, I still make discoveries about Brad.
They'll be playing for $5,000 provided by HotMovies.com. 90,000 adult movies, 10 cents a minute. Get in, get off, get out. HotMovies.com. $5,000.
Hot Movies.
HotMovies.com. Yeah, a lot of porn on there. And
you get the scenes you want, I think.
Do we get some, too?
I'm sure they'll have a gift package for you.
It's 10 cents a minute. So, that's what's so good about it, because most times you only need like 3 minutes of porn.
Do you do computer porn?
You know what? I used to love that.
Really?
I really like that, but Brad doesn't approve.
Oh.
Does he think that it's cheating?
Well, I don't think it's cheating. I mean, we're just watching. We'd be just watching.
Right.
But why doesn't Brad approve of you watching porn?
He just doesn't think it's right.
All right, let me ask you something.
But you know what? I told him.
You own a computer,
Our
right?
sex could be better. I could get so much more excited.
Oh.
Let me ask you
maybe
something.
That's what he's having a problem
You
with.
own a computer, right?
Yes.
Okay. And when you learned about the internet and there's porn on there, like any person who enjoys porn, you would watch it alone or with Brad?
Well, I'd be watching it. Brad would come in, and he would...
He'd find you watching it.
That's right.
And you'd be masturbating watching it, I assume?
Well, Brad keeps a pretty short leash on me.
But
I couldn't get to that point before he checks in.
I'm asking you this because I think you're being very honest, and when I would watch internet porn, I would make sure to lock the door and be alone with the porn. I never want Beth to know that I'm masturbating. I want to keep that from her. If she asks me if I've been masturbating, I'll tell her yes, mostly, I'll be honest. But I don't want her to catch me. Now, you say when you had the porn on the computer...
It's in the study.
It's in the study,
yeah,
all right.
And it's not very
There's
private.
no door. It's not private. Okay.
Well, their door is there, but we don't lock it.
So I assume you would sit there nude in a chair.
No.
You would have pants on?
Well, I'm in the study.
Right.
So I'm clothed.
But when you log onto the porn site, follow my reasoning
right.
here. When you log onto the porn site, there comes a time where you begin to touch yourself. Is that
right.
correct?
Right.
Okay. Do you take your pants off or do you leave them on?
I'm clothed because I'm in the study.
So you're doing this over the pant or inside?
The activity is going on clothed.
Oh, so you're just,
Yeah. How is that possible? Oh, you mean just unzip yourself and then just stick it out?
Right.
I see. Now,
But the actual masturbating goes on in the shower stall for me.
You mean
where I really have privacy?
Let me understand something, George.
What?
You're watching the porn. You store those images in your head.
Yes.
And
then I shower.
And then you take it into the shower.
George is so clean.
But let me ask you something about the shower.
Yes.
Don't you find the wetness of the shower decreases sensitivity to your shaft?
And then I lather up, put soap all over my body.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole routine with
Absolutely.
You luxuriate, so to speak.
And there's something so exciting about, a soapy body. And running my hand over myself.
There's something about a soapy body, even if it's yours.
So you go to a website. Where do you prefer to watch gay porn? What website would you go to?
Well, I get Brad comes in and puts a stop to it.
All right, so let's say you find a website somehow that excites you, and you go on there and you're watching gay porn. And I assume you like to watch what? You got any kind of kinky gay porn you like?
Gay porn.
Just gay.
Straight gay porn.
Straight gay
You
porn.
just want to see two guys.
Exactly.
You don't want to see. Do you want to see good-looking guys tie each other up? Do you want to see?
No, I don't go in for that. All that sort of
whipping, nothing, hurting each other, nothing like that.
No,
spitting on each other.
Does it have to be a love scene, or is it just pure
sex?
Sex.
Blowjobs, anal, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Okay, all right. You're watching it, and you have your pants on, and then you unzip your fly, and you start to touch yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Brad walks in inevitably. Mm-hmm. Now, if Brad doesn't walk in, you wouldn't finish right there in the library. You have to go take it into the shower.
Well, yeah, I go to the shower.
You will not finish in front of the computer.
No, because it's a study.
But what's difference is, I mean, okay, it's physically a study, but you have the porn right there. I imagine it'd be more fun to watch the images.
No, I just keep it in my mind, keep the juices going, and
how long
dive into the shower.
How long can you watch porn for without having to run into the shower?
Well, I really don't get to watch it that long.
Right, because Brad's around. He's lurking.
Brad's computer is there, too, in the same study.
Yeah. Let's say Brad was out of town.
If he's let's say when he's out, I'm out of town more than he is.
Okay, but let's say on a given day, Brad's out of town. Would you finish off in the library, or would you go to the shower?
I've gotten so used to the shower, the warmth of the water, and this.
It's become a thing.
Yeah, right.
You look forward to it.
Exactly.
What if you have just taken a shower and now you're in the library masturbating?
I go back into.
You go right back into the shower. Interesting. I wonder what the shower represents.
Love the shower now.
I love. The sensuous thing,
well, Gary Dell'Abate used to masturbate in front of his computer and then finish into the toilet.
Right.
Because he didn't want the kids to catch him. So he would run back and forth with his, so his wife and kids wouldn't catch him. So
we all do it our own individual ways.
So even if Brad was out of town, you would still be in the shower.
I like the shower. The warmth, the steaminess, and the soapiness.
Okay, understood. Now, so you do this gay porn. And you like it. And why is Brad reacting in a negative way to this? Does he feel it's taking away from the intimacy of your relationship?
Brad feels that he should be the one.
Right.
That I should focus just on him.
No fantasies, no... Nothing.
Nothing. He's coming in tomorrow, so you can quiz him on that.
But I don't understand something. He comes into the room and he goes, does he scold you? Does he, George?
He scolds me, and he immediately, disconnects me.
He shuts you down.
Yeah, he turns off your computer. But isn't that wrong? I mean, you're a grown man. I mean,
it is wrong.
You've been in the business a long time. You've established yourself as an adult. I mean,
and our relationship has been established. He should feel confident of himself.
This makes me feel.
I love him.
Brad's the woman I feel in the relationship because if he's a real woman, I mean, only a woman would sit and punish a guy for watching porn. This proves my theory that someone takes on the more feminine role. Brad is more femme.
Well, he's the
woman.
He's the organizer. He sort of directs my life.
I would assume in a situation where one puts it into the other, you would be putting it into Brad. That's what I believe. Am I correct?
You can believe what you want.
Am I right or wrong?
Well, Brad is listening, and he doesn't want me to.
Would you ever yell at Brad for watching porn?
Oh no.
I want to watch it with him. And, and then from there, carry on.
Yeah.
So, am I right that you are the dominant in your lovemaking in the sense that...
Yes.
I am correct. Wow.
I'm the Christian, and I'm the one that gets it started.
You get it going. And you are the one who inserts rather than accepts.
I like to be sucked.
You like to be sucked. Yes, I know that. But don't pretend here that you don't occasionally go for more intimacy by entering your man.
Well, not that often.
But occasionally it's happened. And my point is well taken that he assumes the female role. Right. Okay, thank you.
If there has to be a female.
I'm sorry, Brad.
Does Brad masturbate? So you mean only you masturbate, and Brad's claiming he saves his love for you?
That's what he says.
That's what he claims.
You never walked in on him doing anything?
Oh, no.
Wow.
Not.
I'm shocked.
Well, you know, he's a shocking guy.
So you've given up masturbation because you love him?
Oh, no. I still do that.
You do, but you don't watch porn.
Yeah, you know, I feel so uncomfortable talking about this because he's listening to me.
Well, he needs to know. Let's be honest with one another.
Oh, Howard, you are a good interviewer. You're getting things out of me.
No, but George, what I'm saying is, and I'm being serious now, this is whether you're a straight couple or gay couple, you enjoy watching porn and stuff, he doesn't. But you've really given up watching porn completely?
Oh, no.
Oh, you do it anyway?
Because he's, you know, I mean, I'm watching and he comes in and puts a stop to it.
Oh, so he's always putting a stop to it?
Well, I try to do it when he's in the, you know, futzing in the kitchen or, you know, far away.
Okay.
So when he's out of the house, it must be a real great time for you. In a way, he's conditioning you to look forward to him leaving so you can watch your porn, right?
Well, I don't think he's going to be leaving too much now.
No, he's going to chain you to the... Well, why only one computer? You and Brett share?
Oh, no. He's got his computer and I got mine.
Well, they're both in the library?
Yeah.
I see.
Now, do you have a stash of magazines? Does he object to the magazines as well?
We don't have magazines.
Oh, boy.
You know, I feel like when I was a kid, and I used to get those muscle magazines and hide them, you know, because my mother would find them, you know.
Right.
I feel, you know, it's
like
something
that
like
again.
that.
Yeah.
But then
maybe that excites you.
But the other thing is, you know, at least now, I have Brad.
Yes.
And I don't think I need those magazines.
You don't think?
Although, you know, I do go to some newsstands.
What is your favorite gay magazine?
What
is your favorite
gay
magazine?
Well, we do subscribe to Advocate and Out magazine.
No, but I mean for porn.
For just
Blue Boy?
gazing at the newsstand.
Are you a Blue Boy fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the tight buns? Tight buns magazine.
Howard.
Buns and chests.
I told you.
You ever read Latin?
Brad is listening.
You ever read Latin Inches?
Oh,
What?
Latin
No,
Inches.
I have not. I have not. How do you know so much about this?
I'll tell you how I know.
How do you know?
I had a producer once, before Gary.
Yeah.
You know, this guy, now he's a general manager of a radio station. When he was a kid, I said, whenever he would act up, I'd make him go to the newsstand and buy me 10 gay magazines.
And he had to ask for them by name.
He had to ask each one. To humiliate him.
Oh.
Punishment. Imagine a straight guy going to a magazine and asking for Taint magazine. Give me a copy
are
of
evil.
Yes.
You are...
I'm the worst.
Sadistic.
Yeah, I'm the worst person in the world.
You are.
Yes.
Put that poor man through that.
Lee Davis. Where are you, Lee?
Yeah, Lee is still hiding.
Boy, I can't believe Artie's out today. Look at the conversation he's missing.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I'm sure he's listening, isn't he? Does he listen when he's absent?
He sleeps if he gets the opportunity.
Sleeps like a big bear.
He's hibernating.
You bet.
Brad's big balls, Brad's big balls, hanging in his underwear. Under in my face, I'll take a taste and spit out the pubic hair. Brad's big balls, smacking on my rear. Cause juicy nuts slapping on my butt makes me one happy queer.
Wow.
Christmas was 3 months ago.
But you could never play that song enough.
My favorite was...
I'm dreaming of a white penis.
Oh, my.
Just like the ones I used to blow. With a sweet pink glisten. Even when it's pissing, it sends a tingle through my throat. I'm dreaming of a white penis, a curvy blue vein hard delight. I am gay and I'm horny, that's right.
Beautiful.
And I love one inside me Christmas night.
Beautiful song.
Oh, by the way,
yes,
I got to tell you, and I got an appeal to make.
Uh-oh.
A week from tomorrow, April 8th, on CBS.
Okay.
I'm going to be kicking off a new series called Secret Talents of the Stars.
Oh.
They've got 16 celebrities.
Who are the celebrities besides yourself?
Well, we're teamed off in groups of 4.
Yeah.
And we opened the show, the series.
When you say we, you mean you.
The 4 of us.
Yes.
On April the 8th.
Yes.
And the members of the first group are Clint Black, country singer. And his secret talent is he does stand.
I heard he sings.
Well, he sings.
That's not a secret.
That's a big secret.
That's what he's famous for. But
I was making a
revealing
joke.
their talent other than what they're famous for.
Right.
He's going to be doing stand-up.
I was implying he couldn't sing as well.
Oh, yeah. He's a wonderful singer.
Right, okay. So he does stand-up, you sing.
Well, I'm singing country songs.
Oh.
That's my secret.
Really?
And then what, they vote on it?
And they vote. There's Sasha Cohen, who's an Olympic gold medalist, ice skater, and she's going to be doing contortions.
Oh.
And
aside from yourself, it's a horrible lineup, by the way.
Well, the thing is, how are they going to vote for us? Because
I hope you win.
We're all doing different things, stand-up, contortion.
How do you compare?
Maya is going to be doing tap dance, and I'm going to be singing country. And
Don't you think
judging?
Don't you think your talent should have been you masturbate to gay porn?
This is CBS, Howard. CBS.
Could have masturbated in the shower with the soap suds.
And people, the audience votes.
Right.
So I am appealing to the Stern Army.
So before they even see you, you're appealing.
But my big bafflement is how do they vote? It's like judging between Mack trucks and G-cups.
Leave it to us and our audience. We will be voting for you in mass.
That's right.
You're going to win.
I'm going to continue on. I'm a competitive guy.
We're going to get behind you.
We're going to make sure you go on.
We're going to get behind you. You don't have to worry about that. What is it, Richard? What could you add to this conversation?
Well, I want to get back to the jacking off in the shower thing that we were talking about. I love to do that too, like George, but I have a problem, and I don't know if you've ever had this, George. Do you ever get soap in the end of your pecker when you're using soap to do that, and it stings like hell?
Well, to give you the details, what I do is I turn the shower, the water, down so that it kind of dribbles, and it's nice and warm.
I don't understand.
And my whole body is all soaped up, and I'm feeling the body, but my penis is right under that warm liquid water. So I don't get soap there.
You don't use soap to do that?
I use soap on the body.
Oh,
but no soap on the wiener?
The warm water is on the penis.
Okay, I'll have to try.
And it's that warmth that's good.
I'll try that.
And the soapiness on the body as you feel yourself up.
Well, let me tell you, that's pretty wild. Let me tell you that.
Show you a new technique, Richard.
Hello?
Thank you.
Richard.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, okay.
Richard, why did you not bathe? What was the point?
Why did I what?
Richard, you got to be respectful. Clean yourself.
What are you talking about?
Richard, you got to have some respect for people.
I do.
Oh, I'm disappointed, Richard.
Who are you?
Fred Norris. Show a little decency.
What are you talking about?
We'd rather you be clean.
Buddy, you're off your rocker. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm clean.
Is there a smell? I'm too far.
Hey, I'm hanging up. You're weird. Hello.
Well, wash that man's rear.
What's the matter? Are you a sicko?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Why is that?
It's disgusting.
I'm disgusting?
Yes.
What makes you think you're not disgusting?
Richard, you got to have some respect for people.
I do have respect for people, but I sure don't have much respect for you because I don't know what your game plan is.
We'd rather you be clean.
What are you talking about, be cleaned?
Clean yourself.
I had my shower this morning.
Good Lord. Well, wash that man's rear.
What are you talking about? Watch a man's rear?
Yes. I love those voluptuous mounds.
Man, you've got a problem.
A bright asshole. Now, where are you located?
It's none of your business.
What?
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 Huh?
What?
What do you mean, what?
What?
Listen, you dork. I don't know what your game plan is, pal, but you better quit calling.
It's not funny.
I know it's not funny. I think you belong in an asylum somewhere.
Rich, I don't believe
Is this religious or what?
Yes.
What kind of religion are you?
What?
What religion are you?
What?
What religion are you?
Baba Booey.
An Abba Booey?
Yes.
What the heck is that?
Baba Booey.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Oh, I'm disappointed, Richard.
Well, this conversation's over with, pal. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good job on that one, George.
Richard, you spend your time, your life, doing things like that. These poor victimized people.
Well, that was about the 300th guy I called,
my
too.
goodness.
It took forever.
Yeah, what do you call different guys named Richard, and then you gotta get one that really responds. Most of them just probably hang up, right?
A lot of them do, yeah.
That was great.
I had two that were even better than that, but they wouldn't give me a consent. So but I finally got a good one with a consent.
Oh, you actually got consent from these poor people?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Oh, you have to. This rules about stuff.
Can you
I
believe
suppose so,
There are
yes.
two in the can better than that?
Oh, they're amazing. But
Really?
Yeah.
Let's get Gary to make some calls.
Oh,
He
my
can be more
God.
persuasive.
I almost cried. There was an old lady that was so funny.
Oh.
And she said no. I was, like, devastated.
Yeah.
Maybe she's had a few days to think about it.
Yes.
Give her some money. Can we give her money?
We could try, yeah.
All right. I'll talk to
You
Gary.
just won.
Like, you know what we could do? We could say this phone call sponsored by, because whoever puts up the the $500 or something.
Yeah.
That would be
Like
awesome,
Beaceuticals or something.
That
you
would
know?
definitely help, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank God they don't recognize my voice.
Well, anyway, thank you, Richard. That's
Thank
a great
you.
one. Good job.
All right. Anyway, let's get back to George. George, you yesterday were very anxious to speak with Artie about this public service announcement thing.
Well, first of all, I'm glad to see you here and seeing the same Artie that I remembered from 3 months ago.
What did you think was going to happen?
Well, I mean, I have an imagination.
Oh, good.
So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're the Artie that I remember. And I want to get your thoughts on what is going on with the PSA for the Human Rights Campaign.
Well,
because
I'm not
I've been
taking
getting
it
from the other
seriously.
side. Clearly you aren't.
All right, well, look.
But I don't think, it's just not realistic that I'm going to go. It's a joke.
It is.
But after I came out to you, I felt bad that I wasn't really gay after I said I was. That's a portrayal.
Well, you know what I thought on
I could have at least fucked some guy.
Do some of your homework, huh?
George, you asked. Let me put some parameters on this discussion. George, you asked Artie to cut a public service announcement denouncing the word fag or faggot, and Artie agreed to do it. And in fact, Artie said he would pay $100 to this campaign
every time he slipped.
Now, since then, you've sent Artie how many scripts?
Well, there was one script sent to him.
Yes.
And he didn't want to do that.
That was bad.
And he said he wanted to write it himself. And he asked the Human Rights Campaign for bullet points of topics that they wanted him to hit.
That's right.
And then there's been some conversation between Teddy and Anastasia, who's the staffer that's been assigned.
Well, that's as good as no conversation at all.
Yeah, and it went back and forth, and then even that stopped.
Much like Hillary Clinton, I'm flip-flopping on this issue.
Yeah, Artie, what is it? You stopped the conversation. Are you now saying you will not make the public service announcement?
I made an attempt. Howard, I'm telling you, every attempt just sounded like I was goofing on it. I couldn't,
Why? Do you really understand the meaning behind the word fag and how powerful it is? Words have meaning. People have...
Do you think I'm the only one in this room that uses the word fag?
Oh, no. But You probably don't know the whole background.
Listen to Pharrell and Bubba
People
show.
have become bashed. Their skulls have been broken. You know,
I know, but I'm not for that. What do you? I mean, you think because I use the word fag,
you can play a part, you know, because you are who you are, and you.
What
you
am
are,
I?
You are influential on a lot of people.
I'm not influential.
Yes,
on anybody.
you are.
I am not.
You have no idea the number of people, the masses of people that you influence.
I can get people I pay to do shit for.
As Artie goes, so goes the world.
Yeah, right.
Well, you're saying that...
God help us all.
George, you're saying there's a huge constituency out there who go to Artie shows, who love Artie.
That's right.
And if they see the public service announcement, they'll be educated.
And you think that
recognize your background, how you've been using it, and now you become aware of what the power behind that word is.
Does the word hurt you, George, personally?
It does.
It does. When someone says, hey, you're a faggot, it just demeans you,
because
it takes you down a notch, right?
It suggests all of that other, cruelty that's been hurled.
I would never say
and
that to
society, for example, I know you
I wouldn't.
Not to me, but it's a word that affects a whole mass of people. In the same way that black people were killed, were lynched, and I mean, what's a rope with a loop around it? It's just a rope, but it has power. It symbolizes something horrific,
right?
And that's why society has moved to the point where we don't use the N-word anymore.
I honestly would rather quit the show than listen to more of this. I would rather go back to Jersey where nobody cares about the word.
You can count.
George, you're asking me to be like something I'm not, which is,
that's right.
Artie, you haven't got the will. Are you officially saying you will not do the public service?
I'll do whatever you want.
You know what?
Much like a broad, what will shut you?
No.
My God.
Okay.
People who suck dick won't shut up.
What will shut me up is if you find that thing in you, that will.
What thing?
That will.
Where is it?
Oh, God, that will is surrounded by...
Will is in me?
There's Will.
All right, listen. High-pitch Mike and Artie.
Well, can we say our April Fool's joke, Mike? We really like each other.
Yeah, you're in love. What is going on, Artie? Can you find it in your way to have a détente here?
Yeah, listen, it's always been his problem. I don't understand.
It wasn't my problem when Ron was sitting right here, and I'm talking to him, and Artie had nothing to do with it.
Who, Ron?
Ron. And he's calling me gay. And it wasn't my problem when I went into the wrap-up show to talk to John.
I started
his
that
questions.
Day. Was that what triggered it? His calling you gay?
That didn't help.
He's calling me a faggot over a dozen times.
You clearly are not.
What do you
mean you clearly not? How do you? I mean, I'm not saying you are either way.
Well, you told me.
But, I want to ask you a favor, Howard. George made a point on the wrap-up show yesterday, which was completely glossed over by everybody in the room, and about how talk like this leads to people getting murdered. And I gave Fred a clip of something that I would ask that you play. If you would, please.
Let me ask you something, Mike.
What did I say?
Mike, let me understand something here. Look.
You're a bozo.
Now quit that. Quit that.
I'm sorry.
Mike's sensitive.
Yeah, you know what?
Mike, what is going on?
It upsets me that you, who is a legend in comedy, a legend in radio, laughs at a stupid, juvenile kindergarten joke like that.
What's funny is I laugh at you, too. The two of you fighting is funny.
Yeah, you've written some incredibly rank and vicious.
Yeah, what about the quadriplegic people out there that...
I'm not worried about the quadriplegic.
Why not? Why wouldn't you worry about that?
Your father had a choice to fall off that ladder. I didn't push him.
Quit that.
See, I mean, you're just as vicious as Artie. And people are laughing
one
at
person out an entire group of people.
Well, look, listen to me.
Father did nothing to you.
I don't understand.
Really, Mike? Just because you can't father children.
Would you please play the clip so you see?
All right, what is this
let's
clip?
Turn this into the fucking...
This is a clip. 5 days after Artie said, I'm going to bash your gay head in. You'll hear what happens in the clip. It's a clip from a talk show, but you'll see who it is, and you'll see where I'm coming from.
Okay.
I need to talk to you about something that's really serious and really sad. And if you know me, it's hard to talk about sad stuff without getting emotional, but this is really important to talk about. On February 12th, an openly gay 15-year-old boy named Larry, who was an 8th grader in Oxnard, California, was murdered by a fellow 8th grader named Brandon. Larry was killed because he was gay. Days before he was murdered, Larry asked his killer to be his Valentine. I don't want to be political. This is not political. I'm not a political person, but this is personal to me. A boy has been killed, and a number of lives have been ruined. And somewhere along the line, the killer, Brandon, got the message that it's so threatening and so awful and so horrific that Larry would want to be his Valentine, that killing Larry seemed to be the right thing to do. And when the message out there is so horrible.
She was more upset about the dog she gave away. She actually cried.
Yeah, she couldn't get through that statement without crying.
Right. Well, you're just as vicious to Artie as he is to you. It's escalated into this very vicious battle. Do you guys want to have closure? Here we are, April Fool's Day. I've done the Ralph joke, whatever. Maybe in the spirit of this, maybe there can be some closure, right, George?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not because it's April Fool's. It's got to be genuine.
Yeah, genuine.
I'm willing to never speak to or about Artie.
Great.
If I can get that same closure.
Oh, God, yeah.
Good.
Now, let me understand this, Artie. You're agreeing not to speak about...
And even when he's in here, not to address him...
Well, once again,
and you know what? You got to wipe that smirk off your face.
I'm sorry, George.
Because there's no credibility in your words when you have that expression on your face.
So great. George is like your mom when she yells at you.
Yeah, get that smirk off your face.
Now,
See that street.
Artie, what is you're going to go for this deal?
Yeah, I don't care.
What do you mean?
Good.
What is it again? Not to talk to him?
No. Not to say bad things about him.
And if you want to hype it up, for the fans, I know you like big. He keeps
Nobody cares about
calling
you.
me gay, so if you want, I'll take a HIV test on the air. He can take a drug test on the air.
Okay.
We'll make it a little bit.
Let's clear
So
this
you're going
up.
to prove you don't have AIDS?
Are you gay at all?
No, and he's going to preach, to the high waters that I am, but
and I know what you mean by Artie saying you're gay all the time. Like someone told me they ran into you coming out of the movies with a guy the other day.
What?
So what's the matter with that?
Nothing's the matter with that.
Exactly. Right. You have a smirk on your face.
No,
I don't.
Were they holding hands?
No. He came out of the movie Stop Loss with a man.
The other half the story is I run into Richard and his girlfriend. Me and my friend talked to Richard's girlfriend why Richard's off sucking the cock of some band we've never heard of at a club.
Well, my point being is that because Artie keeps calling you gay, as soon as someone sees you with a man,
they go,
they call the Howard 100 News tip line. I mean, that's how this shit happens.
Right away, there was a call to the tip line saying, hey, guess who we saw walking out of the theater with a man?
Right.
So, look, you did a vicious song about Artie. Let me replay that, if I may.
Oh, please do.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Oh, yes. Listen, it goes both ways. These guys are really going at each other. I believe this is the song.
Rockabye Fatso on the Stern Show.
That hurts fat people.
You're addicted to drugs and your comedy blows.
That hurts drug addicts and comedians.
Oh, hitting him where he hurts.
Such a fat pig. It's getting so sad. So climb on a roof and follow your dad. Fuck you, fat ass.
Now that's cruel. The guy lost his father to a terrible accident. That was bad.
No, I'm going to take the high road today.
One thing I must say.
I'm going to take the high road today.
Yes.
Mike, you're a wonderful soprano.
Thank you very much.
He does have a good
I'm going to
voice.
take the high road today.
You're going to take the Hershey Highway today.
All right. So the point
maybe I shouldn't apologize.
I'll just shut up.
Wait a minute, I thought we were having
we're getting close. We're getting close.
We're getting close. Artie hears the song and it reminds him of that. See what I mean, Mike? It goes both ways. So when I try to broker the peace here, much like the Middle East.
It goes both ways, but you have to admit, even yourself, Howard, the rant that has started all this discussion with George and the PSA, there was no humor in it at all.
All right.
I don't know about that.
So anyway, let's agree now, if we can. Artie, if you tell me no, or Mike, you tell me no.
What? We've done this before, though. We did a truce months ago. And,
I see. The truce was broken. Who broke the truce?
I think it was Artie.
Yeah, I think I broke it.
It might have been Artie. It might have been me. I can't even remember.
It might have been Mike, yeah.
Might have been Mike.
Might have been
you
Mike.
don't even remember.
Could have been me.
It could have been you.
Well, as I understand it, it was triggered by you calling him fag.
Oh, no,
See,
no.
There again, that word.
Right, that word is so appropriate.
And the thing is, it's not even just Artie. There's people on the rap.
A lot of people hate you.
There's people in your staff, Howard, that have said the F word is not nearly offensive as the N word, as if there's some sort of ranking between black people and gay people. You know.
Well, all right. So is there any peace to be had here today? Artie or Mike?
I think you have a good cause, Mike, but you have an insane lack of intelligence. And you can't bring it across.
Artie.
No, I'm serious. I think if you found like a smarter, more articulate person with a normal voice and less redness on their face from
Well, I
God
think
knows
if
what.
you could come in 4 days a week for 4 hours a day and not shoot up drugs on a Sunday night, we're coming to work.
First of all, I snort drugs on a Sunday night.
All right, we all have our faults. Let's recognize that. But then we have good things.
Robin, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I don't think it's going to work.
All right, it doesn't seem. Mike, I was trying to get this to stop.
I hate to see this going on in our little group.
Yeah.
We need Colin Powell to come to mediate this.
Artie seems to be the guy who's always at war with somebody.
Yeah, he loves
Remember Sal and Richard for a while? You were
he just attacked Scott Salem because Scott had an opinion.
Scott came in here and attacked me.
That's true.
With a very valid argument. You're bitching and whining because you have to go do stand-up comedy where you make more than most people make in a year. And it's a fucking problem for you.
All right. Well, I can
Look at your shirt. Erase hate. Can we do that?
All right. Can we erase the hate?
Meanwhile, while Artie's being dropped from charities, I decided to join a charity. This is the shirt of the Matthew Shepard Foundation.
What are you going to raise?
Nice. So if you want to make a joke about somebody getting their head
what are you going to raise?
You.
What kind of money are you going to raise for that?
There's other ways to help a charity other than just giving money.
What are you going to do?
Bring notice to their cause.
All right. Well, fair enough. All right.
Oh, that's very noble.
Yeah, it's very noble.
Okay. Look, Mike.
George, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Howard. George, I hope you would seriously reconsider the PSA, too.
Oh, yeah. No,
You've done a lot of good work with the HRC, and this would ruin your credibility.
George, what is your decision on the
Well, if Artie can really, genuinely, honestly, say that he's going to do it sincerely, then it's worth it. But I don't think he should do it if he's going to maintain this posture here right now.
What posture?
Well, I mean, the use of the word,
I haven't said the word once. I haven't said the word once just now. I'm calling him a bozo.
You think the word is funny?
It's hilarious when it's used properly.
You don't understand.
And all his hands
the N-word is funny? Is the N-word funny? No,
yeah, it can be, absolutely.
No, it is not.
Well, it can be.
Words have power.
Yeah.
They have tremendous, or symbols, like...
I have a lot of...
Artie, why don't you be honest? Do you want to do the PSA or
no.
not? Okay.
He never wanted to do the
Unless
PSA.
there's sincerity, it's meaningless.
All right, so the PSA is over. Mike, you get your
Why
wish.
doesn't he just... Why don't you... give him something he can do. He can give your favorite charity some money every time he says the F word.
Well,
what about that? I'll do that.
That's what he's said he'll do. But
yes, but it was tied to this PSA.
But what's different than that, than a life feed? It's money from a hypocrite.
Right. Well, listen, I don't know how to resolve this. I really don't, and I almost don't
Robin
care.
took my money from me.
All right.
You can give me all the money.
High pitch Mike.
If Artie can really get himself into that state where when he came out to me as a gay man, that was so believable.
State, Artie.
That was so credible.
Well, that was comedy.
And I saw the pain.
Yeah.
I saw the anguish.
I have a lot of...
He's an actor. He's an actor.
He's a wonderful actor.
He is. He's terrific.
And if you can act
he could actually
honestly,
act.
I mean, method acting is finding
gay.
something in you that, that is the character.
Right, and you're saying please find something in you that can make you do a credible PSA.
Yes.
Mike, do you have any more daytime talk shows you want to play before we go?
All right, Mike, thank you for playing.
You know what? Her talk show is more successful than any fucking project you've ever done.
I'm on the Howard Stern show. I'm on the Howard Stern show.
This is his show, not yours.
Well,
you want to make it yours, but it's not yours. It's his.
Come on, all right. Enough of this.
They can't have one civil word between
Mike, you've said a lot. Artie, you've said a lot.
Right.
I don't think détente is going to happen today, But I'm hoping
I don't think you even made a step in the right direction.
No, I was almost there, and then I played the song.
This is like when Robin intervened in the Richard, Sal, and Artie fight, and she only fucked it up even more.
That's why you love her. You gotta love that. Well,
At
I was
least effort
hoping
is
for
being made.
not détente, but gay-tante. All right, thank you, high-pitched Mike. Let's hope that in the future more dialogue can happen.
But what does he do? But what does he do for the show?
Well, I hope
works in the news
he works in the
department.
newsroom.
Oh, I didn't.
And I hope
didn't know
we've
that.
established Mike is not gay.
Well, listen,
all right?
That's fine.
He isn't.
He is.
Go to the movies with all the guys you want.
Well, you go to movies, too.
I do.
And some of them happen to be guys, right?
Never.
You're friends.
Well, coming up, everyone should be very happy. We have the newly weird game. Well, this is exciting. What a great day. I've been looking forward to the newly weird game for a very, very long time. Brought to you by our sponsor, HotMovies.com. Yes, love is in the air, and I love love. And, of course, I love being a game show host. My biggest aspiration in life was that I would become a game show host one day, but it didn't work out. And instead I resorted to penis jokes. Well, anyway, here we are at the newly weird game. This is exciting. And let me announce the couples who are going to be playing today. I am very excited to have Blue Iris and Ron. Hi, Blue.
Hi. It's good to see you. I miss you.
You know what, Blue? I didn't even know you were married. I'll be honest with that. Are you married or boyfriend and girlfriend?
No, we're separated legally since 1999, but we live together.
You still live together.
Yeah.
Ron, welcome to the show.
Thanks a million.
And Ron, Blue Iris has been a staple on our show for a long time.
I know that.
And how did you guys meet? Where did you meet? How did your love affair begin?
I met him in the doctor's office.
Is that true?
When I was 17.
Somebody told me that they asked you, how did you guys meet? And Ron said, if you want the truth, I'll tell you. And you freaked out, Blue Iris. You didn't want it known how you met.
Okay.
Why don't you come
tell how you met.
Tell.
Okay. And now that I know that John Barris doesn't have a radio show here, I'll tell you. No.
By the way, how is your bladder? Are you able to move your urine?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You are. Remember when your urine was going into your feet?
Oh, it was gross.
Yeah, I imagine so.
That was hilarious.
Clear that up. You stopped peeing, is that correct?
Yeah.
And when you stopped peeing, the urine collected in your feet.
Yeah.
Now, George, I don't know why you're laughing at that. Isn't that? It's a terrible affliction. How would you feel if your urine...
Well, it sounds bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But, of course, that's typical, isn't it?
Yes.
That's true.
Blue, it wasn't funny at the time, right?
No, it wasn't funny at the time.
It's hilarious now.
Yeah.
How did it happen?
Funny now. I don't know. I just woke up that way.
Well, Ron, why does she not want people to know how the two of you met?
Tell him.
I think you better ask her.
Tell me, how did you meet? And why don't you want anyone to know?
We did meet at a doctor's office. That's true and correct.
That part is true.
That's
But
true
what
and
kind
correct.
of doctor was it?
A gynecologist.
Ron, why were you at the gynecologist?
I wasn't there for me.
I don't understand what's going on.
I had a baby out of wedlock, and he adopted the baby.
Oh.
And then I came to find him because I was bipolar when he turned 18. I came looking, and he had been divorced, and I'd been divorced.
All right, let me understand this, Blue. What I think you're
What
saying
a love
is...
story.
This is some love story. You had a baby out of wedlock.
Right.
You lost the baby because of your bipolar disease. The court must have said, we cannot let you raise the baby.
No, they never said anything of the kind.
She was a young girl.
You
and
were a
she
young
put
girl.
the baby up
You
her
put it up for
I
adoption, and Ron adopted the baby.
Yeah.
Ron, were you married at the time?
Of course.
You were?
Yes.
Yes.
I had an Israeli boyfriend who was killed on a motorcycle and left me 5 months pregnant when I was 15.
Right.
So...
Very complicated, but
Yeah.
he adopted the baby with his wife, and then I
Right.
guess you and your wife got divorced, Ron?
That's correct.
And then you reunited with Blue Iris? How so? I mean, she said, I need to see this baby of mine?
Well, I always felt that I'd adopt Blue Iris.
Right. Were you always in touch with each other?
No.
No. But I wanted to see, because I'm bipolar, I wanted to make sure when David turned 18, the records would be unsealed.
I see.
And then I used my tarot cards, and I found out where they lived.
You used your tarot cards?
Yeah.
All right, so...
You have a phone book?
Blue and Ron, how long were you married for, so I understand when I try to figure out who's going to win this game?
We've been married for 25 years.
25 years. Long years, Ron?
The years go by as quickly as a wink.
They do. And Ron, was it unusual to marry Blue Iris? I mean, what attracted you to Blue Iris?
Everything. All I had to do was touch her.
Right. Were you upset when she went into porn? I mean, after all, you're married to her.
Nothing that she does surprises me or upsets me.
Have you seen her porn?
Of course.
You have?
Of course.
It's called old age porn. In other words, it's older women having sex with young men.
It's Blue Iris porn. There is nobody like Blue Iris. She's the only one on this earth.
Why did you stop having sex with her? Why did you stop being married to her?
Who said we stopped having sex?
Oh, you are having sex?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Here, wondering if you're interested. Ron gave us a clip of his porn. If you want, I could show it to you.
He's got porn?
Are you in porn, Ron? Is that correct?
Well, I did a film.
You did? With an older woman or a young woman?
There was a younger
woman.
21 years old.
This is great.
She was 18.
Wow.
I'm trying to stay thin. This is great. I'm going to throw up right now. So
everything you ate is going to come back up on you.
Yeah, this is perfect. Could you guys tell me more stories after lunch every day?
Yeah.
It'll be our pleasure.
Better than gastric bypass. All right, so Blue Iris and Ron, you've been together a long time. Do you think you know each other well? Do you know your sort of idiosyncrasies?
Nobody can really know Blue Iris. All I do is try to take care of the Iris field and try to service her and
you're a good man.
Meet all her objectives. I'm there. I'm like the police. I'm there to protect and serve.
Okay,
and
fair enough.
Also obey.
All right, so it is a legitimate relationship of a long time, and the two of you have lived together for a long time. You certainly should know each other very well. My money is on George Takei and Brad, but we'll see. We'll see how Blue Iris and Ron do.
Blue Iris and Ron can
You're trying to tell me that the fix isn't in. I mean, don't the people around here, when you pay them off, don't they stay paid off?
No.
This is integrity here.
No, I have the questions. George and Brad, have you seen the questions?
No,
Has anybody seen the questions ahead of time? Okay, let's...
Well, Howard, I would bet on Evil Dave, but how much can you really learn in one day after a kidnapping?
We're going to get to Evil Dave in a minute. But first I'm going to go to George Takei and Brad. You two have been together for quite some time. George, of course, we know you well. And Brad, we feel like we know you through George, quite frankly. Were you shocked yesterday? Did you listen to the show yesterday?
No.
Yes, I did.
You did. Brad, you're such an upstanding guy, handsome man, certainly a pillar of the community, I would call you. Mm-hmm. George came out with some shocking revelations yesterday. Were you aware of all of this masturbating in the shower?
No, in fact, he said that I keep him on a short leash, and actually I'm going to have to make the leash shorter now.
Brad, I have to be honest with you. I was a little shocked.
I was too.
That you don't allow George the freedom to masturbate in the library.
How do you feel about the porn? I mean, what do you think?
What's going on?
Is that cheating to you?
I don't know. I think masturbation is private, so I never really worried about it until yesterday.
George, I can't open A Tale of Two Cities.
George, I described what you say because it's fascinating to me. I mean, here you are, a grown man. You certainly have a distinguished career. And for Brad to walk into the room when you were trying to masturbate and say, George, no, you can't. It's almost as if he's mothering you. And in fact, Brad, I said you're more of the woman in the relationship. It's always the woman saying, no, don't masturbate.
It's not really like that. I just don't deal with it. Right. I mean, it's something I don't even think about.
What was it like for you the first time you walked into the library and saw George there with his pants pulled down and
pulled down?
Well, his penis, his zipper out, and his penis out, touching himself to the computer. Did you feel betrayed? Honestly.
No, I blacked out. I don't even remember the situation happening.
He did not black out.
What did he do? What did he do, George?
I think I know Brad, 99%. But every so often I discover that I only know him 50%. There's a whole new aspect of Brad that's revealed. Well, his voice goes up, and I can't deal with his hysteria. So,
but yet you stopped masturbating. Were you aware that he masturbated in the shower?
Not really, but I knew he took long showers.
Right. Well, that's what he does is he memorizes the images of porn. He goes into the shower. He lathers himself up, except for the penis area.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to sting down there. And then he runs the warm liquid over his penis. That had to be a shock to you, yes?
Well, the thing is, I must acknowledge to the world, Howard, that I also masturbate.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Did you know that, George?
I didn't.
I didn't know that. You two are not communicating.
Having such secrets.
Why else would he have Jude Law
because he would
movies?
disapprove of my doing it, Yeah. I never shared mine, and I never.
But why do you disapprove of George doing it then?
That's sort of a misunderstanding. I just don't go there.
Because George thinks that you don't want him masturbating.
Well, he
not
doesn't.
in the study, maybe.
Do you think something's wrong with the relationship sexually in the sense that the two of you are off masturbating when you could be masturbating each other?
No, not really, because we have a good sex life and we enjoy those moments of sexual intimacy and we look forward to them. But then there's other times when we don't have that opportunity.
So when you masturbate, do you think of other men besides George?
What do you think?
Yes. Yes, I do.
So do you have a stash of magazines or do you use porn?
Hotmovies.com, Robin. What a dumb question.
Right. Well, isn't it interesting to learn that Brad and George don't have a level of communication where they can talk openly and honestly about their masturbation? I feel this show has really added some depth to your relationship. I really, truly do. I think this is healthy and good. All right, couples, we're going to now get to the third couple. And Evil Dave, you've been on our show how many times?
Oh, God, I can't even count.
We have you on because you sound like David Letterman.
Exactly.
We know you can't count, but how many have been on the show?
And you told me you got a divorce, is that correct?
Yes, I got a divorce.
All right, you got a divorce and you met a lovely woman, 6 to 9 months ago? Was it? You said 9 months ago.
9 months ago.
Okay. Now, listen, I invite you in here because I like you. And I have to tell you something. There isn't a person in this room believes this woman is your girlfriend.
No way. No
and
way.
Dave, you're sabotaging.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. I appreciate that.
You're a lovely, beautiful girl. What is your name?
Angie.
If you're going to stage...
See, she's not even sure of her name.
Yeah, Angie, if you're going to... Dave,
the cue cards aren't up yet. Go ahead.
Dave, if you're going to stage something, at least stage somebody within your capabilities.
Get something believable.
Listen, I admit it. When we first started going out, I consider myself very lucky, and I beg like a dog. But
Dave, here's
enough with the Lou Gehrig bit.
I got to bust you because I believe in honesty.
I know.
Blue Iris and Ron, all this. Sal met your girlfriend, the woman that you're dating, and this isn't her.
Let me explain that. The girl I brought was Angie, and I both know her. She wanted to come and meet everybody. Angie could not get away that night. So what we did...
Dave, what? We're doing a bit here between couples and talking about how well they know each other. You can't just bring a stranger in here.
I did not bring a stranger.
This is a stranger.
She is not a stranger.
You're saying that's your girlfriend. You're going to maintain that.
You better believe it.
Sal, why don't the two of you make out right now?
We first started going out in July, and...
Angie, would you make out French kiss him right now?
In front of everybody?
Yeah, in front of everyone. Let me see that.
I know it's embarrassing, but you have to go ahead and do it.
Angie, come clean. This is not your boyfriend, is it?
He is.
Angie, then make out with him.
Oh my God! For the radio audience, Angie has a look on her face.
Theater of the mind, ladies and
gentlemen. Getting beheaded on Al Jazeera.
Evil Dave, listen to me.
This is a horrible joke you're playing on me and my audience. I don't know why you would do this. I don't know what you're...
It's April Fool's Day. What? No, she's legit.
We even paid you to gave you some money because we knew it was hard for you to get in.
No.
And the thing, what do you know? And Sal met your
my
girlfriend.
hand to God.
Well, legit
She
what? Sal met your girlfriend.
I know,
this
and I knew I'd get back to you on that. No, this is her. The other one was a big... Boy, is my face red.
You're going to stick with this story.
I will stick with the
story. You're going to continue lying to me. She won't even kiss you. She won't make out with you.
She will kiss me.
I don't want to make out.
You don't want to make out.
Can I say
I mean, this is
Gary, go ahead.
This is the worst thing you could have done.
Oh, sure.
To me.
Go ahead. Be an instigator. Go ahead, Gary.
It's the worst thing you could have done to me. I mean, Brad is here.
We set this up. It's a
Ron
big
is here with Blue Iris. Come on.
Hand to God.
Hand to God what? Tell me what this
I
is.
begged like a dog to get this girl to first go out with me. I am so lucky to have her.
We believe that. Hey, Dave, can I ask you a question? Dave, I'm going to put this to rest right now. You told us many times on the wrap-up show that the woman that you're dating works with you. And then I just asked your girlfriend what she works with, and she doesn't work with you.
I used to work with
She
him.
used to work with me.
I don't know. Why won't you kiss him? Why do you look like a hostage?
Please put them in mind.
Would you what? Please what? Oh my God.
Oh, stop.
Oh my God. Wow.
Everybody satisfied?
No. All right, now put your,
and I wash my hands.
Now put your finger in his ass.
Hello.
It's a family show.
Wait a second. I want you to swear to God, the Lord Jesus Christ, that this is your girlfriend of 6 months.
I swear to God, on only that is holy in this universe, this is my girlfriend. This is my main squeeze. She's my buddy.
And how long has she
pal.
been your girlfriend?
9 months.
Swear on the life of your children.
I swear on the life of my children.
All right.
Wow.
And I'll
Is it
believe
the other
it. Well,
hand?
and you are making out.
Yeah.
You're not lying to me.
No, I'm not lying to you.
David, who was the woman that Sal met?
Yeah, who did I meet? That was a woman who works with me at the company. She was very interested in meeting everybody. So I said, and I got Angie's permission. I said, you want to meet them? You want to meet Sal? I said, yes, she's a big fan of the show. And she also wanted me to push, let me finish, Robin. She also wanted me to push the chocolate. I said, let me get clearance from the tower here. And she said it was...
Good Lord.
That's right. You laugh or you get it, Artie. Let me get clearance from the tower.
Very pretty.
And yes.
And I don't believe you could get her.
I told you, I begged like a dog when we first went out. I admit it.
He treats me like a princess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's better.
Sal.
That's right. And by the way,
Howard, his girlfriend, when I met her, made it very clear they were boyfriend and girlfriend. She loves the show. They were definitely together, and she made it clear, just like you did in the past, Dave, that she would never, ever appear.
On the life of his children and on the Lord Jesus Christ that this is his girlfriend.
Yeah, but he's also missing a few brain cells, Howard, and there's $5,000 on the line. You know, think about it.
Come on, Sal, give me a little credit.
I love you, Dave, but I met your girlfriend.
Credit.
All right, Ralph, what do you want?
Please give me a little credit.
Ralph, what are you still doing here?
It's the quiet ones you have to watch out for.
Throw him out. This is ridiculous. When he just kissed her, tell that she was getting attacked. It looked like a giant fish sucking her face in.
Oh, stop it.
Yes. You're ruining the show. Get out of here. It's about honesty.
All right.
Did Dave feel her up right now?
No, I'm not going to. I mean, I'm not going to. All right, thank you, guys. Listen, they made out. Robin.
I guess we have to go ahead.
I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go ahead with the contest.
I would doubt that they'll match.
Does anybody believe I can occasionally get lucky? For God's sakes.
Absolutely not.
I believe even if I don't have some dead presidents on me, can anybody believe that?
No. Are you an ecstasy dealer?
No.
So the two of you, are you in love with Dave?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Howard, can I say something, Howard?
All right.
Howard,
Okay.
one last thing.
Let them play then.
She looks so repulsed right now from making out with him. I ask you to make out with him one more time. I don't think you'd go through with it. Look at her. She looks like she just got raped.
Are you going to throw up from making out with Dave?
Yes, you did. Make out. I want to see your tongue hit his tongue and swirl them around just for 5 seconds.
What do we need, an instant replay for?
Because it's bullshit. Go ahead, do it.
Well,
since you are loving with George and Brad, they'll do more than that. They'll go right in the shower. One last kiss to prove to everyone with the tongue.
Tongue swirls. Let's go.
Go ahead, and then we will
Why do
believe.
you want to see this?
We need to see it. Because we need to see it. Go ahead. Oh, wow. Oh.
He licks her like a dog.
Oh, well, that would be doggy style, Robin.
You are some operator. George and Brad, is that the worst kisser you've ever seen? But they did it. You guys really are. They did it.
I have to hand it to them.
They are. Doug, they did it.
They did. Save the good ones for the wrap-up show. You know what I'm saying?
All right, good. I am convinced.
Dave, thank you.
Howard.
I am convinced, Dave.
Now, can Angie make out with Blue Iris?
Angie, I apologize.
Let's see how well they know each other.
All right, we'll see how well you know each other now. All right, it's time for the Newly Weird game. And what we're going to do is ask the spouses of the famous person from the show to leave. And I will ask questions, and then we'll see if you can match. The people who match the most get a $5,000 prize for the Newly Weird game provided by HotMovies.com. Now, when you go to HotMovies.com, there are 90,000 adult movies, 10 cents a minute, get in, get off, get out. HotMovies.com. What a day. You've got Evil Dave and his beautiful girlfriend, stunningly beautiful girlfriend, Angie. You've got Blue Iris, who, yes, has a husband, Ron. Who would have thought? And then there is George Takei, who just learned his lover of 25 years, Brad, masturbates.
21 years.
21, I apologize.
I'm glad I learned 4 years before.
Okay. Here we go. This is so simple. I'm going to go to each of you. Don't answer out of turn. Your partners cannot hear your answers. When they come back in, you are to give them no clues to your answers. You sit there quietly. And here we go. All right, first question.
Are you starting with Evil Dave?
Starting with Evil Dave. Dave.
Yes.
When you orgasm, where does the sperm go? Where does the sperm go? How do you answer that? See, your lover certainly should know the answer to that.
She's a clean freak, so I would say not in the throat.
But where does it go?
Let's see.
Where does it go, the sperm?
Oh, my God.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah. Not in the throat, but where does it go? We can eliminate the throat. That's fine. All right.
Probably.
Look, Dave.
I wear glasses, so I'd say off to the side.
Off to the side of what? Her face? Are you saying?
No. Just off
to the side of the bed.
Yeah.
Does it land on the bed? So is it on the bed?
Yeah, probably. And then I catch hell for messing up the sheets.
Okay, on the bed.
Wait a minute. Why is he guessing? You've never made love to this woman?
Of course I have.
But he shoots onto the bed.
It usually hits the midget.
Not in the throat.
All right.
He's got it, yeah.
George, certainly this should be an easy question and answer session for you. 21 years. Where does the sperm go?
It goes in his mouth, and then he rushes to the bathroom, and he spits it out in the basin and gargles, and then he takes Listerine and comes back with a very fresh mouth.
Are you insulted by that, if I may ask?
No.
Because most women will swallow.
He does not swallow.
Doesn't that kind of bum you out? Isn't it like a sort of a sign of love when the person swallows?
Well,
I mean, he runs out of the room.
It's a little selfish, but I've gotten my rocks off.
Right. I mean, he runs out of the room. It's very insulting.
Well,
he rinses you out, so to speak.
And then, I do the same for him, and then we cuddle, and it's a cuddle.
So you don't swallow either?
Okay. I don't swallow either.
All right, Blue Iris, when you make love to Ron, where does the sperm go?
In my mouth.
In your mouth. Okay, fair enough.
In my feet.
Okay, that's the first question.
Blue Iris swallow, that's what it is.
And April 8th, I'll be at the Improv in Hollywood, California with my Tornadoes of Comedy.
Now, Blue, so you're saying you swallow the sperm?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay. All right, I'm going to start with George this time. All right, to make it fair. George, what is your partner's favorite sexual position?
When I do it to him?
What is your partner's favorite sexual
position? His favorite sexual position is he's lying in the bed.
Yes.
And I suck him off.
Yes.
And then while I'm off in the bathroom, he
he's feeling himself up, and then I come back and I just throw my body over him.
So you're saying the favorite sexual position is when you're sucking him off is the favorite sexual position, what, on your knees? Or
any more details, George?
Robin, what is the position? I don't either. I'm not even sure how to write that down.
I don't know. Lying in bed.
So he likes
with
to
his
be
legs, hanging over.
I see.
And then I do it.
So he likes to be flat on his back.
Right.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's the same for me, too.
You like the same, okay.
I know the position Brad's father's in right now, which is leaping off a bridge.
All right.
Don't make that comment.
Let's go to Blue.
Brad's father passed away recently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Try to be sensitive, Artie.
Yeah, Artie, please.
You lout.
I'm very sorry.
Let's go to Blue Iris. What is your partner's favorite sexual position? What will he say?
All fours.
He likes you in the doggy position, or
yes.
he likes the doggy position?
Doggy style.
The doggy style. Dave, your beautiful partner, Angie, who none of us believe is your partner, but yet you've proven it. What is her favorite sexual position?
I will say missionary.
Missionary, okay. 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 Very good.
Missionary impossible.
Right. You laugh or you get it, right, Artie?
All right, Blue, here is a question that is non-sexual.
Okay.
If you could change one thing about your partner, Ron, what would it be?
Everything.
Everybody. What are you
If I
saying?
only had one thing, I'd make it everything.
I give him more energy because he's a lot older than I am.
All right.
And I'd like him to have more energy.
More energy.
And good health.
All right, you would change his energy level.
Yes.
Okay. Evil Dave, what would you change about her?
I'm very lucky to have her. I would say she gets a little bit bossy once in a great, great while.
Okay. You would
small price to pay.
All right.
You are so
George,
weird.
It's the same as Dave's. He's a great guy. He's very thoughtful, kind, and considerate, except that he is controlling, and he, sometimes when I, resist, he gets hysterical.
Well, I mean, the fact that he goes crazy that you masturbate while he masturbates.
Yeah.
So he is very controlling. That is true.
So you would change that hysteria, huh?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, let's get back to Evil Day first.
Mm-hmm.
Name something your partner likes to be called while having sex.
I will go with a nickname on that, what I like to call her.
Yes. Or what your partner likes to be
My little
called.
extra Christmas.
Little extra Christmas.
We were going to go with victim.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say my little extra Christmas.
George, name something your partner likes to be called while having sex.
Well, what I do is, and I've been saying this all the Bradder.
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 B-R-A-D-D-E-R. Bradder. It's horrible. All right, let's go to Blue Iris.
Things we reveal.
Name something your partner likes to be called while having sex.
The governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He likes to be called Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Good one.
He doesn't like to be called at all.
He's got to be called something. You must have a pet name or something dirty you say to him. There must be a name there. Give it to me.
Mr.
Handsome.
Nauseous.
Yeah. What is it? There's got to be something.
Ronnie.
Ronnie. Okay, Ronnie we'll go with. All right, that's fair enough.
This is the greatest show ever.
I can't take
It's in the
it.
lobby, isn't it?
All right. And we're going to do one final question. We can probably stop at 4.
Well, you have to have like that extra
I'll have
question.
a bonus question just in case this thing gets close. I doubt it will. Okay. I don't think so. To your best guess, George, the great George Takei, star of Heroes, Star Trek.
I love a plug.
The new show you're going to do.
Secret Talent of the Star.
Right.
Next Tuesday, a week from today.
How many sexual partners has your partner had?
I know of at least 3, but I don't know.
You going with
him
3
before I met him?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What happened before I met him.
You don't. So you have no guess. You're going to go with 3.
I'll go with, since I've known him.
Yes.
3.
Well. All right.
That's a bad question. You
wanna
got any more questions?
All right, I'll scratch that question.
Yeah.
You don't like that question?
That's not a good question.
Okay. What annoys you most about your partner while having sex?
Annoys me. Actually, we have good sex.
Okay, so what annoys you most about your partner, period?
Well, when he gets hysterical and his voice goes way up there.
Hysterical.
And he starts, yammering at me.
All right, high voice kind of thing. Hysterical. Blue, what annoys you most?
About Ron?
Yeah.
When I'm having sex?
Is that no. And just in general.
Just in general?
Yes.
He always puts his foot in his mouth.
Puts his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, but he's a brilliant lawyer.
Okay. And Dave, do you have any? This is just a bonus question. I know. I doubt we'll even get to this. Dave, what annoys you most?
I'll stand on an answer I gave before. She is a perfectionist. I'll say she gets a little bossy.
All my last questions are shitty. So here we go. Let's just go to the
I was going to say, I thought Dave would say she always calls the cops.
Not lately, Artie.
I mean, I could have asked as a bonus question, if your partner could have sex with a famous person, who do you think your partner would choose? I could do that.
That's a good one.
All right, George, answer that one real quick. If your partner could have a sexual liaison with anyone famous, who do you think he would choose?
Probably Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, okay. Blue?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, what would Ronnie choose?
Yeah.
What would Ronnie choose?
Yeah, famous person.
Famous person?
Yeah.
I haven't the slightest idea.
Make up a name then.
Joanne Worley?
No.
Angelina Jolie?
No.
Time Daly?
No.
George Takei? Who would it be? Quickly, give me a name. Quickly.
I can't give you a name.
Can't give me a name? All right, can't answer. That's going to be a lost question.
Oh, no, I don't want it to be a lost question.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, I'll say you'd like to have sex with Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, okay, and?
I'll say Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. All right.
Not you, Dave. You're
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Now, we're going to bring in your spouses, your lovers, and let's see how you do. If you give them any clue, I have to disqualify the question. You understand?
Yes.
We're playing for $5,000 thanks to our dear sponsor. And you know who that sponsor is. You all know it. Hotmovies.com. Yeah. 90,000 adult movies, 10 cents a minute. Get in, get off, get out. Hotmovies.com. Here comes the beautiful Angie, who is hooked up with Evil Dave.
Somehow. We don't know
Somehow he gets her.
Yeah.
Ron, who is hooked up with Blue Iris, is here.
And of course,
and the lovely Brad, who of course has been with George Takei 21 years of bliss. Yes.
Don't forget April 8th at the Hollywood Improv on Melrose. The Tornadoes of Comedy are going to strike, and I have a magician, and I give away funny prizes from the 99-cent store.
All right, Blue.
Wow.
Thank you. Yes, you are bipolar. And let's get to our game. Couples, as you know, there can be no hints.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm going to begin with Evil Dave and his partner, Angie. Remember, the couples that match the most walk away with $5,000.
Oh, my God.
That's good money. Dave, can you use $5,000?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's see what happens here.
Also, we should tell Angie that if you blink 3 times real quick, we will get you help.
Well, I'll take off my glasses.
George and Brad, I know you're very wealthy men, but I'm sure you could always use a $5,000.
We have a good charity to give it to.
Okay, that's very sweet. Blue Iris and Ron, I know you need the money, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right, so think carefully now when you answer. We're going to start with Dave and Angie. Robin, who's your money on?
I gotta say, it's gotta be Brad and George, don't you think?
What do you say, Artie?
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put my cash on Blue Iris.
All right, and let's say no one is going with Evil Dave and Angie.
Nobody's taking Evil Dave and Angie.
You never know. All right, here we go.
Country.
First question, free country, right? Here's the first question. Angie, we asked Dave, when your partner orgasms, where does the sperm go? Brad is laughing, but it's not your turn, Brad. Okay, Angie, so you're having sex with Dave.
Okay. All right, try to picture that.
All right, try to imagine it.
Your wildest imagination.
And your partner has an orgasm.
Okay.
Somewhere that disgusting, gooey stuff has to go somewhere. Where does it go?
In me?
Inside of you is your answer.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a match. Dave said on the bed. He says he shoots his load onto the bed.
See, I told you they weren't having
I don't want to
sex
get you in trouble, for God's sake.
Why don't you know what goes inside of her?
Huh?
How do you not know what goes inside of her?
Well, you know.
Well, you know what? Angie, how could he not get that right?
I don't know. He's a little
He's a little out. Have you
Right of center,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, okay.
Right
I'm
of center?
going to go to George Takei and Brad. George, when your partner orgasms, this is what we asked George, where does the sperm go?
When I have an orgasm.
No, when George has the orgasm, where does the sperm
it goes in me.
Where in you?
I think that's a clear enough answer, Howard.
Does it go... all you will say is truth? Be truthful.
In my mouth.
Well, let's hold up the sign,
George,
and sure enough, there it is, the mouth. You got it right. And, of course, you run into the bathroom and spit it out, and then gargle. We got the whole detail. Brad, congratulations. I'd spit it out, too.
Thank you for that.
That is a point on the board for our couple.
Brad, you and I have a lot in common. I would do the same thing.
Why not just swallow the whole thing?
I don't know. Didn't somebody say once that you shouldn't swallow?
Really?
I heard that semen might.
We might have said that.
In it.
Yeah.
Do what? I don't know. I thought
Bounce
it's not
back.
Clean.
Bounce back.
You heard
That's
it might
what
not
makes
be
babies.
Yeah.
George says he doesn't care that you go and spit it out. I thought maybe you would swallow it to show your love of George.
I'll start doing that.
Don't do us any favors.
I totally understand your point of view. Believe me. I understand it. All right. Blue, Iris, and Ron. Ron, we said to Blue, when your partner orgasms, where does the sperm go? Ron, you certainly must know where it goes. Where does it go?
In her
Where?
mouth.
In her mouth. Blue, hold up the sign. And Blue, what did you say? You said mouth. All right, we've got a tie game now. Blue, Iris, and Ron.
Couples are on the board.
All right, Evil Dave and Angie, you're going to have to do better. The second question. Let's start with George and Brad this time.
A lot of blowjobs going on.
Yeah. Nobody's blowing me. All right. We said to George, Brad, what's your partner's favorite sexual position? What did he say? This is about you. What's your favorite sexual position?
Do I get multiple choice?
Nope. No, you don't. Just describe what your favorite is. What do you like the best?
Brad's favorite sexual position.
That's right.
Not George's.
That's right.
How do I describe that?
He can't help you.
Carefully.
I guess lying next to George in bed.
Go ahead. He can't answer. He can't answer. He can't answer.
Lying next
how
to
you
George
when you're lying? How on your stomach?
On my side.
On your side, lying on your side next to George. Well, let's take a look at what he said. He said you would say on his back, so we can't make it a match.
But no, George is on his back.
Yeah, but
I'm on my side.
But you like being on your side.
Well, you got a match.
You got to match the game. So
I don't know. Well, you do it sometimes on your side, sometimes on your back.
No. Well, let's go to Blue, Iris, and Ron. Ron, what did Blue say? What's your partner's favorite sexual position? What do you like best when you're with the lovely Blue Iris?
All fours.
All fours, doggy style. All right, that's fair enough. Let's see what the match is. Doggy style.
That's my team.
Wow, Blue, Iris, and Ron moving ahead with 2 points.
I didn't know anybody could match with Blue Iris.
Angie, we said the same thing to Evil Dave. If you
had to choose a position.
What's the fave?
I like missionary.
Missionary position. Let's hold up that sign. It's missionary. You're on the board.
Usually I do something right.
You sure do.
Thank you.
Right in center.
Next question, we go to Blue and Ron first. If you could change one thing about your partner, what would it be? So we said to Blue, you can change anything you want about Ron. What would it be?
Choose?
What did she choose?
What did you change?
I mean, you seem perfect to me.
Yeah, you got it.
But what would she change about you?
What should she change about me?
What's the one little thing?
One little thing.
One little thing.
Come on, we're running out of time. I'm going to have to give a no answer. Just come up with something quickly. I don't want to see you guys miss a point.
All right. Well, argue.
You argue too much. Well, no, I don't think that's a match. Blue, what did you say? Hold up the sign.
No.
You said more energy. She finds that you're older than her and you lack energy.
Yeah.
Is that true? True. Blue, well, he didn't get the match. I'm sorry.
Sorry about
but you're
that.
still in the lead. Let's go to Evil Dave and Angie, who appear to be the mismatch of the century for some reason to us, but they've proven they are really lovers. All right. We said to Dave, if you could change one thing about Angie, what would it be?
He always says I'm too bossy.
Too bossy. Let's take a look. Dave, what did you have? Too bossy.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? That's a real couple.
I mean, I think so.
Look at them coming on.
Brad, what did George say?
I kvetch too much.
What?
Kvetch.
Kvetch too much. You. When you say kvetch, you mean you.
What is it? Complain.
You complain too much.
Yeah.
All right, George, hold up the sign. You are too controlling.
Now, the judges, is that...
Well, that's part of kvetching.
Well, I'm sorry, it's not a match. It's too broad a category. I'm going to have to take it away.
George.
I'm sorry. It's not a point.
Oh, dear.
All right. Well, we're going to get to our final question.
Semantics.
And the only reason this is the final question is because we are definitely not going to have a tie, I don't think. We're going to see. We might.
What's the score?
Well, actually, we might. Evil Dave and Angie have 2, and Blue Iris and Ron have 2 in a stunning upset so far. George and Brad are behind with only 1 point.
How could that be?
Shocking.
Kvetching is...
Hear the bell go to geography.
It's not controlling, it's complaining.
Well...
it's controlling is a different thing.
It's a way of...
I'm sorry, George.
Yeah, but you didn't say the thing.
Yes,
The judges agree with your call.
Yes, the judge is older. It's a bald director in the back there. All right, here we go.
What's your favorite salad dressing?
All right, here it is. Those are the same judges. They ought to have their head examined. All right, here we go. Here we go. I forget who I left off with first. All right, we go to Brad. All right, we go to Blue. Okay, Blue, this is it. This is for the whole ball of wax. This is for $5,000.
Oh, my God.
Okay. We said to Blue, name something your partner likes to be called while having sex. So, Ron, what do you like to be called during sex? What's your favorite little nickname, or when you're in the intimate throes of sexual
What do you like to hear her
deliveries?
say?
All right.
Oh, you Ron. Oh, you Ron.
Oh, you Ron.
Right.
Oh, you Ron.
No.
Well, you were so close. Ronnie.
You said Ronnie.
Oh, you Ronnie. See, Ronnie.
Well.
It's close, but you see, we
No
wanted
cigar.
a name. Yeah, no cigar. We can't give you that match. But it's all right. You could still pull this out. You've got 2 points on the board. Evil Dave and Angela.
Angie.
Name something your partner likes to be called while having sex. So what do you like Dave to call you? Let's think here.
Well, he always says, my little extra Christmas.
My little extra Christmas.
This is crazy.
This is crazy because that's an exact
crazy.
post. Exact match. My little
I
extra.
don't believe this for a second.
I mean,
What do you think? They're psychic?
I think they somehow got the question.
I can assure you I'm the only one who has.
Next week we have Jim Florentine up here. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Is it April Fool's?
No, this is not April Fool's. This is going to. In fact, they've already won. But just for the hell of it, Brad, what do you think?
He calls me Bradder.
Bradder, that's right, and it's a match, and you ended up coming up with 2, but the winners are Evil Dave and Angie.
Oh, my goodness.
The people who have been together the least, and we're not even sure are together.
Yeah.
But yet,
People don't take each other for granted. Yeah.
You know, maybe you're right. Maybe it's that new love where people used to each other. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know what we've learned here today, but I want to thank Blue Iris and Ron. I want to thank...
we do it in
crime
many
does
different
pick.
ways.
Yeah.
I just chose one.
Well,
But he does it on the side, too.
this is a shocking outcome.
I say, the questions were terrible.
Thank you, Robin.
The questions were tough. I'm sorry, George and Brad, you must break up. Really, you don't belong. You don't belong with each other. You know, and Evil Dave and Angie, for doubting you, I apologize. The 2 of you are obviously in sync and very much in love.
He doesn't know where the sperm goes.
Well, it's only been 9 months, for God's sakes.
I think what we've learned here is that when you're chained to somebody's radiator in their basement, you learn a lot about them.
Blue and Ron, I thought after all these years of knowing one another, you guys were close. You really were. You were kind of close. It didn't work for some reason.
We just missed one.
Yes. No, you missed two. You guys missed two.
What was the other two? Oh, the second one.
Kvetching and controlling.
Kvetching. Well, yeah, that's semantics.
George is still fighting
You're
for
still
that.
fighting with the judges. Well, good luck. You can take that up during the commercial. Blue, you were mentioning a club date that you'll be doing. I want to get to everybody's plugs, and of course, that's most important to you. Blue,
Did you get that release?
what release is that?
I gave Will the release that the Improv gave us, a full page.
I see. It says, see Blue Iris with the Tornadoes of Comedy, April 8th at the Hollywood Improv, and you can go to improv.com. That's very important. Ron, pleasure meeting you. I didn't even know Blue was still having a man in her life. I really didn't know.
It's been my pleasure.
Right. And do you ever wake up some mornings and think Blue is just lying there dead? I mean, do you ever... Sometimes she can look a little corpse-like, right?
No.
Never.
No, never.
The
heart beats true Blue.
And he knows she's still there.
When she coughs like that, do you get nervous? Well,
That sounds like remnants of a blowjob in 1948.
And let me just say to Brad and George, I don't know that you have any plugs, but the two of you are a lovely couple. I hope that you have many years of happiness and try to get to know each other.
I'm going to share the shower with George from now on.
I think the happiness is over.
Well, George has a new show coming on
that's true. We should mention that. George will be
Secret Talent of the Stars.
That's going to air at 10 o'clock at night, right after
Dancing with the Stars.
Right after Dancing with the Stars, a good time slot, so that should be interesting.
What's your talent?
CBS. I'm singing country.
Oh, wow. Where, CBS?
In the shower, I do it. Every morning.
ABC Day.
Oh, CBS constantly bombing sitcoms. Go ahead.
Whoa!
This guy. Look at you. You're just like the real Dave Letterman.
Thank you very much,
That's
Howard.
why Angie loves him.
That's why Angie loves him. Angie, what do you love most
Occasionally
about...
I do something right.
What do you love most about the Big Galoot? What do you love about
His
him?
heart.
His heart. He's got a good heart. He does. One thing I
had
have
a
to
check, too.
Right.
Right center.
The $5,000 are yours thanks to hotmovies.com, and you can go on there and get off in minutes, 10 cents a minute. You know how it works.
Artie, I just want to say we got to see you when you come to Chicago June 6th.
Oh, my pleasure.
I will
Absolutely.
prove to Mr. Sal beyond the doubt this is numero uno.
All right, very good.
I'm going to hear about it after the show. I know.
Only.
Thank you,
Well,
Artie.
it sounds like wedding bells might be in the future. Isn't that right, Angie?
Yeah, that's smitten, huh, Dad?
That's smitten.
9 months.
She is a godsend to me. She really is.
A little soon for marriage?
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
What's the age difference on these two?
Yeah, what is the age difference on you two?
I'm 49 and she's 28.
All right, well.
Kind of a Bob Levy thing. Go
Good
ahead.
for you, man.
Good for you. Yes,
It's a
indeed.
man's world.
Honest to God, I thank my lucky stars for every day. I really do.
You should.
I do. She's the greatest. She really
You're not kidding. Yeah, she sure is.
Yeah, see, you're all broken up about that divorce now.
Yeah, now. Oh, no.
Have you met Angie's family? Have you met Angie's family?
I've met her mom, Janine. She's very nice.
Her mom got in a car and ran away, right?
We had to siphon the gas out, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, good enough.
And was her mom able to eventually
what is
fit
it,
her head
Gary?
in the blender?
We had to take her glasses away from her, but she was fine after that.
We were talking to Evil Dave on the wrap-up show when he was in a couple of months ago. We were asking about his girlfriend, and he said that he has to wait till his kids go to sleep and then sneak out of the house in order to go meet his girlfriend.
Is that right?
Yeah, what's that all about?
Well,
Rules still apply.
Rules still apply.
Can you ever answer a question? What does that mean?
What does that mean, the rules still apply? You don't know what that means.
But do you know why you have to sneak?
It's just, because they have their friends over and stuff like that, and I want to give them their privacy too.
What?
I don't think that sounds so dumb. All right, I'll probably hear about it in the wrap-up show. Gary's working at it right now.
Are you saying that you don't want to show your children having sex out of wedlock? I mean, out of
No, well, I'm just saying that they have their friends over, right? And it's like...
No, I don't know.
Well, it's a small house.
Right, so their friends are over.
Yeah.
But why do you have to sneak out? Why can't you say, hey, everybody, I'm going out?
I'll make a note of it.
No, I'm asking a question.
No, I tell them I go out.
But you said you used to sneak out.
I used to.
But why?
Angie, do you know
Look at us,
any
we're like
any
Mutt and
insight?
Jeff. What do you expect? You're Beauty and the Beast.
Angie, what's he talking about?
I don't know. You don't.
Well, he probably...
Because when you have kids, off goes the lingerie, out come the T-shirts, and you sneak out after they're asleep.
I see. You're trying to conceal the relationship until you're sure that this is the real thing.
Some more parenting advice.
Not the relationship, but just the leaving and coming back, you know.
I have no idea what anyone is talking about.
Nobody has to know where he's going.
What time do you generally sneak out?
Huh? There he goes saying again. I go at about 11 and 12. Of course, if I'm out for the evening earlier, that's fine.
The biggest surprise is that you have a small house.
All right, listen, you two make a lovely couple.
Today.
You make a lovely couple, and I'm
Well, she makes a lovely
couple. What will let you decide? Yeah. All right.
Here they are making out again. Yes.
On myself. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you two are very, very.
Thank you, Howard.
All right. And to all our newly weird couples, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
and
Howard.
you can also see me on Escape.tv, Gary Garber's station. I have my own show called
Twisted View.
Called The Twisted View with Drew Iris.
All right. Well, you do have energy. I'll give you that.
You're an extra little Christmas.
We'll be wed when Arnold Schwarzenegger approves.
Right. Good. I approve. Aren't your kids in their 20s, though? I mean, you know, do you really have to sneak out of the house?
No, I shouldn't do it. You're right. You just get this mental thing of them, growing up and stuff like that. I don't know. You're right. I should be more open about it.
Parents lecture kids about sex, and so they don't want to do sex in front of the kids.
Well, I'm not saying have sex in front of them. I'm saying leave the house and say I'm...
Are you nervous?
I don't want anybody to feel pushed. That's what I'm saying.
Push?
Well,
I don't understand. Do you put a ladder outside the window?
No, Robin.
Get out.
Who are you pushing? I don't understand. Are you afraid?
The questions I'd ask,
Are you afraid that the kids will disapprove because she is the same age as the kids?
Not bad.
Do you not want...
Go ahead, Artie.
Do you not want the kids to see you taking Angie out of the trunk?
Yeah, that's even closer.
Angie, would you like to meet his kids?
Yeah, I've met them.
Yeah, but you just sneak out. I see. You don't want them to know you're going out. But they don't even live with you, do they?
Well, I mean, they're over there often enough. So.
I see. Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on wrong.
We got to have a camera over there. There's no telling what's...
Might have to have a reality show with you, too.
Well, we got the wrap-up show coming up.
All right. Maybe they can get to the bottom of it. I'm having a hard time.
I don't know if I should be happy for them or call the authorities.
Well, whatever
Angie,
it is.
Surprises to be happy.
Have you ever been institutionalized?
That's sure. You on medication of any kind?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We couldn't get Jim on the show this week, Robin. Go ahead.
That's true. All right. Well, I'm happy for the two of you. I really am.
Thank you.
I guess I am.
And I will prove it. She's coming. We want to see the show.
Thank you, buddy.
Angie,
we really do.
Are you a citizen? You're not one of those mail order
Vietnamese Swiss. No, she's fine.
You're not a girl who's looking for citizenship. All right, I'm just asking. I had to ask. Right?
You're not one of those gold-digging whores who's after Dave for his money.
Long way to go on that one.
All right. Well, anyway, listen, thank you to all our couples. It's a tough game to play. You all did well. We'll come back and reconvene. Jose Canseco will come by and say hello. And so much more right after these words. And of course, George got all of the positives he always gets. Mr. Everyone's in love with.
Well, Brad he said he was traumatized by that whole event.
Really?
He did well, I thought.
He did?
Yeah, when he responded to you, hotmovies.com. I mean, he was really fast on that.
Yes.
I love when George is on the show. I'm reading email now. He should be on at least once a month. The way you got him to talk about masturbating was classic. More George, please. Here's another one. I love hearing George Takei on the show, and it's just more proof of Howard's genius. You're making me look good.
You are good.
I had never heard of George in my life before. Sorry, really? George, I'm too young for Star Trek. Still, though, I always look forward to him being on the show. He cracks me up. I don't believe in almost any of his political views, but I don't care. I still love the old flamer. Missed you, Artie. You look like shit on The Big Idea. Still, though, you were funny and interesting. Get better soon.
Get better?
Oh, I got to tell you.
You were out sick, if you remember.
Howard?
Yes.
I'm going to be on the Conan show tonight.
Oh,
you're kidding.
Well, the CBS people were working on, promoting secret talent of the stars, and they, the Conan people discovered that, I'm in town with the Stern show.
Do you think Conan
and they called the other day.
Do you think Conan will ask you about your masturbation in the shower?
I think the staff there listens in.
They probably do.
They probably know about it.
Listen, they see you're terrific. I mean, you come on here and you shine.
But why was Brad traumatized? I don't understand.
Well, he just traumatizes himself. He works himself up to this.
He's very nervous. A lot of you forget, Robin, a lot of people are very nervous being on the radio. You're used to it. But for a guy to come in who really isn't in the limelight, he's not an entertainer, to come in here and to suddenly have the lights on him, and now he's also revealing stuff about his personal life.
Exactly that.
It's got to be very nerve-wracking. I understand.
Millions of people out there listening. And
did you and Brad make love last night? You did.
We did. Ooh.
See, it got you all excited.
Who was in the bathroom spitting?
Who spit in the bathroom last night?
Yeah, we know exactly how it goes.
George, it's fascinating.
You guys know too much about us now. There's nothing private about our private.
You want to know something, George? You know what's fascinating to me? What? I always thought you are so, you're such a lover of life and a man who swallows life. I was shocked that when Bradder comes into your mouth, you go to the bathroom and spit it out.
I do unto Brad as Brad does unto me.
Why?
Tit for tat.
Why?
I'm on radio, aren't I?
Yes.
And he's listening, but I'll tell you.
Why does it have to be tit for tat?
No, I have swallowed a little bit. I just go there and go through, run the wire and all that.
Oh, you're pretending.
Why not lead by example and swallow the whole load?
Because he doesn't believe in swallowing. But you know what?
I can't believe
You know what he did last night? after we did it and we were just cuddling.
Yes.
He said,
who did it to who, though? Who swallowed last night? I mean, who spit out?
Oh, Brad did the usual thing.
Oh, he spit out.
He did the usual thing.
All right.
But when we were cuddling, he said, maybe Howard's right. It's an expression of love.
Yes.
Maybe I'll do it, he said.
Wow.
He hasn't done it yet.
Wow. So he went out, he spit it out, and he rinsed his mouth with mouthwash.
That's another positive of the show.
If he loves
may
you,
do it.
And you would like it. You would like to see
I'd like to know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, George.
Well, thank you.
Here's one more email about you. I practically live for the weeks when George Takei is with you on the show. He's always such a good sport about everything, and his laugh makes everything funnier. Welcome back, George. So there you go, George.
Well,
the fans here love you. I don't know about Conan's fans, but I know our fans love you. Almost everyone, after the big argument between Artie and High Pitch Mike, hated High Pitch Mike.
Oh.
They really did.
The fans love Artie.
Yeah, you can't attack Artie.
High Pitch Mike is a fucking asshole. The original gay-bashing comments came only after Mike called Artie's sister Stacy a whore. Artie was right to defend his sister. Women have historically been stoned or put to death after being accused of being a whore. This practice is still in effect in certain third world nations today. For Mike to throw the Matthew Shepard references out so freely and accuse Artie of perpetuating gay bashing is really hypocritical. Because if we lived in Turkey or some other country like that, Artie's sister could be in peril from Mike's comments. Fuck High Pitch Mike.
I didn't realize that there was a maligning of Stacey Lang on the show.
Well, that's true. And I remember it. So it is tit for tat, to use George's expression.
High Pitch Mike should realize that he attacked Artie's sister, and that's what, drew such ire.
Here's another one. High Pitch Mike has got to go. He is full of hate. It's almost as if he does not get the show. Doesn't he know that everyone is goofed on over there? Where's he been? He's got that awfully grating, high-pitched voice. How can any comic in his right mind not make fun of that? He should take it in his stride or leave. Since he will likely not leave on his own, you need to fire him. His vile arguments with Artie bring the show down. I am serious about this. Besides, he's really not part of the show. He is an unnecessary and bitter appendage. Get rid of him. I love it when George is there. Today's show is terrific, except for the segment with the hateful High Pitch Mike.
So it went on and on and on. Please keep high-pitched Mike as far away from the microphone as humanly possible. On this kind of stuff. So, Artie, it seems as if the fans are with you.
I like that he has a voice that the guy goes, any comic in his right, man, would have to make fun of.
This one says, Mike is a disgusting fucking hypocrite. Everything that Artie says to Mike is hilarious. Whereas Mike just comes across as an evil fucking twit. Tell Mike he's no fucking martyr and to get off his big cross. Well, there you go. So the fight continues.
How did this fight get started? I mean, you know, obviously there's a history behind it.
I don't remember exactly how.
I know what happened. We were all in here. The day that he said he went to Great Adventure. Remember that? He went to Great
with the gay day, the red shirt.
Right.
And you laughed at him.
I laughed. I mean, we're all laughing, but I laughed.
Gay day, red shirt?
He claims he's not gay, which is fine. I mean, you know,
he's told me that, too.
But then all these things were happening that, like, he went to Great Adventure by himself. He went to the movies with a guy, and he happened to be at Great Adventure on a day that was gay day there for gay couples.
I see.
And, you know, it was just, we were busting the chops about that, and, I mean, I laughed that day really hard.
He served you a meal, and you ate it.
Yeah, and then, great metaphor. and then after
at least he didn't spit it out.
And then after I laughed that hard, he has a little segment that he tapes on his own, and he attacked me in that segment.
Well, Mike happened to end up there by coincidence at Gay Week at Disney World.
Right.
Yes. So
all by
himself. That's how it started.
I see.
It turned out, you know, and there were many tell Artie to stop with his anti-gay comments and his viciousness. So there are people who do agree with high-pitched Mike.
I remember it was a preponderance of things. Didn't he go to some concert alone as well?
Oh, yeah.
He went to...
Well, he went to Sanjaya.
He was a Sanjaya fan.
Yeah.
And then there was a concert.
Well, Artie is a wit, and, you know, when you provide him with all these things, you know, he's going to use it.
Well, I like both guys. I really do. I do like high-pitched Mike, and I, of course, adore Artie. So, as you can see, George, it's very upsetting to see them fighting, but it does make for some good radio, I think.
It's on both sides.
Right.
You know?
It might have even been an American Idol show that he went to by himself.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Robin.
Not to say there's anything wrong with it.
No.
Oh, there's something wrong with it.
Maybe I should, before we start the whole news block, maybe I should listen to Artie's PSA. Artie, I thought that you and George had agreed that you weren't even going to record this PSA. What changed?
I don't know.
Well, he wanted to continue. He said he's going to come up with an idea, and I said, well, let's hear it. It's got to be believable. It's got to be sincere, and the public has to...
I came up with an angle that is, everything I say is truthful in it.
All right, I'm on the list. How can I hear these? Where are they?
Scott, I recorded them with Scott about 10 minutes ago, and he said they should be ready for you.
All right, I'm going to see if that... Now, by the way, you got to have a pretty stinky pussy to hit people from far away.
Oh, my God.
You're talking about several feet away.
Yeah, but it's believable that.
Maybe it wasn't pussy. Maybe it was body odor.
Yeah.
Or
but
ass.
even that.
Ass can travel.
She's showering, isn't she?
It's happened to me, yeah.
Hey, Howard.
Yes.
They're not ready yet. It's just not ready yet.
It's not.
Oh.
That's too bad. Why are they not ready?
I don't know what Artie... Again, I'm hearing about this for the first time.
All right.
What I did was, it's a very simple version of what we were trying to do. It's got to be a minute. So, you know, I just... but everything I say in there is sincere.
Okay,
so.
we'll listen to it.
Did you just do it?
Yeah, he
just did it.
Must have put a lot of thought into it.
Also, no, I did, because I thought, I've been thinking about it for the last few nights. I begged George to let me have one more shot, because these HRC people now hate my guts.
Right.
And they can ruin your life.
Sure they can. Sure, that could be it for you.
They want to put out a big press release bashing me.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
We're educating Artie. Right, George?
Well, Artie can play a very influential role because of his history.
George, have you ever smelled bad pussy?
I have.
You have?
Yes.
So you know what it can be.
I know what it can be, and I find it not very pleasant.
Isn't all pussy for you bad?
What? No.
Yeah?
These ones are tolerable.
I don't think
tolerable.
I don't think I'd ever find it.
What's erotic is his penis. Something else. Penis, yeah.
I don't think I would ever call someone else's penis even tolerable.
Is there such
that's because of your vantage point.
Is there such a thing as bad penis smell?
Oh, yes, there is.
There is.
Yes. Just like, bad vagina smell.
Yeah.
I mean, we're no different.
Right. Oh, we're a little bit.
Clean ones, dirty ones, handsome ones, ugly ones.
Right.
Erotic ones, dead ones,
Right.
Dead ones? What?
No life in them.
But bad penis doesn't smell like bad pussy.
Oh, it can be pretty vile.
Right.
You ever see, what happens when a bad penis is in a bad pussy?
Oh.
Oh, my goodness.
That's bad news.
Right. Well, what can I say?
So now I got the HRC up my ass.
Oh, no. I'm eager to hear what you've got to say. And, because you do have that history, you can be influential.
Right.
All right. Well, we're going to listen to those when they're ready.
Finally, Artie Lang on Adam Carolla's radio show yesterday, spending most of the interview talking about high-pitch Mike and gays. The word fag apparently dumped. Artie telling Carolla in show business, Artie has to lie about the kind of guy he is, lie and say he's not grossed out by gay sex.
Oh, no.
Well, Carolla agreed with me.
Uh-huh. Anything else?
So if you see Lang news happening, call the Artie 100 News tip line 877-33 Sirius, choose channel 100, or email us at Howard100News@Sirius-Radio.
If you see Artie hooking up a gay kid to the back of a pickup truck and dragging him along, please call.
Right.
And you're going to do the PSA, huh?
I did the PSA.
PSA's ready.
Oh, what page?
Gary, page 2, third column in light pink.
Well, is the one marked that, you could just play them all.
Just put all 4 of them together.
No.
All right, let's see. Is this for real or a joke?
No. This is completely, I thought of an angle that was believable. And everything I say is very truthful. I just hope it sounds that way.
So he's going to submit this to the Human Rights Campaign.
All right, let's see.
Hello, my name is Artie Lang, and I'm a comedian. Some of you might know me from the Howard Stern Show on Sirius Satellite Radio. My comedy is about many things. It's about religion, race, sexuality, and sometimes it can go over the line and be what some people consider offensive. Recently, I, in a rant on the show that reflects completely on my own opinions and not Howard or anybody else at Sirius, I used the word fag when referring to someone who I felt was a gay person. And I understand that is probably the most offensive thing a homosexual could hear, and I'm very sorry about it. I don't mean any... where was I at? I stopped at 50? Yeah. All right.
About a little over 50.
I'm trying to think if I'm... This is retarded. All right. Okay. I guess that's the only thing that
I'm enjoying the anguish here.
Can I see Mrs. Rogers, please? Hello, my name is Artie Lang. I'm a comedian. Perhaps you've heard me on Sirius Satellite Radio, the Howard Stern Show. In my comedy, I talk about many things, and one of them is human sexuality. I'm a heterosexual man, and recently on the Howard Stern Show, I went on a bit of a rant that I'm not proud of. When referring to someone who I felt was a gay man, I used the word fag, the F word, as the gay community calls it. And I just wanted to say that I in no way hate or condone the hatred or violence towards gay people or any other person based on their sexuality or race.
You just say you're an old, you should have insulted yourself. I'm an old guinea. What do I know?
Right. That is not... Oh, wow.
I believe that.
Hello, my name is Artie Lang. I'm a comedian. Perhaps you've heard me on Sirius Satellite Radio on the legendary Howard Stern Show. Recently on the show, I went on a rant that I'm not proud of. When arguing with someone who I felt was a gay person, in my opinion was a gay person, I referred to them as a fag or faggot. Two unbelievably offensive terms. in the eyes of the gay community, and I understand why. I would just like to say that I have no hatred in my heart towards anyone based on their race, sexuality, or religion, or anything like that. I judge people individually, and the last thing I would want to do would be offend someone who's gay or is infected with the HIV virus. Am I done?
So bad. Well, this is so bad.
Well,
why don't you just go on and say this?
Here we go.
Here's the one.
Is this the one I'm going to use?
Yeah,
it's simpler.
Here's the one.
What you think is good.
Well, these are the takes.
You're almost at the point you're going to think, fuck it, I just hate fags.
Well, yeah.
It sounds. Doesn't he sound that way, George?
No, George is believing.
He sounds like a gun is to his head.
Yeah. You know what you ought to say? You know what? Recently in my work, I won't even leave my name out of it. This is about you. You just say hi. You say hi. This is Artie Lang, and I've used the F word. It's a word that is offensive to gay people. The word fag. And you know what? I'm thinking this through, and I think it offended some people, and I'm really sorry for that. Right. And I'm going to rethink my use of that word.
Yeah, but you might
good night
be
and God bless.
Honest when you say that. I don't think he has remorse.
Yes, I do.
Right, let me hear. Let me hear the final one.
It's just like try it again.
This is great.
All right. Loving the Mets and one. Hello, my name is Sal Governale. And here we go. Hello, my name is Artie Lang. I'm a comedian. Perhaps you've heard me on the legendary Howard Stern show on Sirius satellite radio. And I want to apologize for something. Recently on the Howard Stern show, I got into an argument and lost my cool when talking to someone on staff who I felt was a gay person, in my opinion was a gay person. In my anger, I used the word fag when referring to him, and the word faggot when referring to him. And I understand that those are horribly offensive words to the gay community, and I want to apologize for those words. I didn't mean any harm. I don't have any hatred in my heart towards anybody because of their sexuality, religion, or race. I treat people individually. If I in any way offended anybody out there, I'm sorry. And I will try my best never to use those words again in anger. And it was only a joke. What can I tell you? Thank you.
Hello, this is Artie Lang. I suspect I work with a fag.
I don't believe his name is Artie Lang.
I like the last one.
Yeah, I believe
Leave that. No one's going to hear it anyway.
I think if you know Artie, that's true. That's honest.
I would just go on and say, hey, this is Artie Lang from Howard Stern Show. Look.
What I miss, though, is the $100 penalty for each
I
side.
said, fuck that.
So there's a sincerity there.
Well, definitely. I'm sincere about that.
Uh-oh. High-pitched Mike is here.
That's trouble.
It's funny that he's saying he's remorseful now because he's been asked on the wrap-up show, he's been asked by Howard TV, he's been asked by Steve Langford, do you regret what you said? And he says no.
Well, Mike, I mean, listen, you're not the police. I mean, the man is now saying something, and he is offering up an apology. I think we should accept it, no?
I, like Mike, think he's regretting that he's getting heat from groups outside.
You feel it's not sincere?
I don't give a fuck about you or Mike.
And Mike, how do you feel about the things that you've said about Artie? Are you sorry for that?
The things I've said about Artie have been comebacks or retorts.
And they were great. Are you sorry for that?
Am I?
Yes.
He hasn't apologized to me for one thing he said. So
why would I apologize to you? I'm apologizing to the gay community.
And then he goes on Adam Carolla, who I don't know how big his audience is, but he exposes a whole new audience of people, to all the bullshit he said about me. And, the day before he said he'd shut his mouth. So
he asked me about it.
So I'm not going to shut my mouth. And when you did that ISDN test show?
Yes.
Artie and Gary wanted to keep the secret from you who his girlfriend is?
Yeah.
She works downstairs at Del Frisco's. She's the one with the name tag that says Gold Digger.
Oh.
What? Wow.
I don't know her.
Wow.
We'll have to look for Gold Digger.
Is this ever going to end?
I mean, what did he say?
He said your new girlfriend wears a name tag
at Del Frisco's.
So now, are you mad at her?
It says gold digger.
Are you mad at her?
No, I'm just going to keep exposing you. Every time you want to bullshit with me, I'm going to keep exposing you.
You know what? Could you bring your girlfriend in because I want to insult her?
He's going to get one. You know what? I used to work with a kid like you.
You mean a guy who
I used to
isn't
work
gay?
I used to work with a guy like you. He had trouble getting girls. Hasn't been easy for you.
He was an asshole, too.
No, he wasn't. He was a good guy.
So he wasn't like Mike.
He's now married. He has kids. And he was a virgin when I met him. And he got a hot wife. So I know a lot of the bitterness comes from, some social awkwardness.
Ugliness.
No. You're being cruel.
I'm sorry.
No. Let him be cruel. Let him be cruel because I'm going to fucking give it back to him.
I'm being cruel?
I promise you, Howard, I will give it back to him 100%. As long as he wants to go, I'm going to give it back.
You feel Artie's new girlfriend is a gold digger?
First of all, she's not my girlfriend.
Okay, look at him.
First of all,
look at him and tell me that she really thinks he's handsome and he's a great guy. Look at him. I know I'm ugly, but you need to fucking admit your ugliness too, my friend.
Well, when do I say I'm not?
No girl can be attracted to you the way you look.
Wow.
She's after your money.
You talking about my girlfriend or his?
Yeah.
Howard, I'm not talking about that.
Of course he's not.
Well, listen, Mike. What is it, Gary? I'm trying to broker a peaceful agreement.
But I got a question. I think I speak for everyone except Mike. Why are you in here right now? Like, what is your purpose for being in it?
This PSA, he said shit about me that I have to put up with day after day after day.
You always wanted an apology. So now Artie's giving an apology. He's giving an apology. You said horrible things about him. You got the charity to fucking throw Artie out. They lost 10 grand.
I got the charity to throw them out.
So fine. So now Artie's going to make an apology.
I got the charity to throw them out. Wait, how did I get the charity to throw them out?
By bitching and moaning and stirring it up and everything else. By getting on the air and acting like an asshole and everything like that. Yeah, what Artie said was wrong, but you brought it up and you brought it up. Artie wanted to let it go.
What, Gary? You know his history. I'm not interested
in his history or your history. The guy's fucking apologizing. Go fucking somewhere else. He's apologizing. What can he do that's right?
Who is he apologizing to?
He's apologizing to the gay community. George asked him to do a PSA and he's fucking doing it. And you're shitting on that. What can he do that's right for you?
Apologize to fucking me. He's still bashing me on fucking
radio. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like you.
I hope you die.
No, he doesn't. He hopes you die having nothing to do with AIDS or gay. He just doesn't fucking like you.
He said, I'll bash your gay head in, Gary. What the fuck do you think that means?
Is your head gay?
Answer the question.
Are you a gay guy?
I've said no, asshole.
Okay, so how am I bashing gay guys when I bash you?
If you want an apology, that's one thing. But why are you coming in and shitting on this?
If you have some sort of guilt for putting him in that charity,
I have no guilt at all.
That's not my problem.
I have no guilt at all.
That's not my problem. You put him in the charity.
You're like the dweeby kid who needs constant attention.
I know, and you're Mr. Perfect, right?
No,
you're Mr. Perfect.
No, you act like you're Mr. Perfect.
Well, wait a second.
You act like you're above everyone.
I'm not mad at Mike.
I'm not above everyone. I want a fucking apology for what he said.
So go get it from him somewhere else. This is about the charity. This is about the gay community.
This is about me being defamed, and I have to put up with this day after day.
What Artie just did in the PSA is not about you.
Mike.
Oh, he didn't just say I called a kid a fag. Even in the apology, he's calling me a fag. Wake up. Wake the fuck up.
You are the quintessential example of love me daddy. You just need attention. You're using this show.
Well, hold it a second. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. No, I don't. When Artie and Mike fight, they both fight very dirty. Well, Mike, you said horrible things about his sister and all that.
Of course I did.
And his father.
And Artie and Artie's father. Terrible things.
First of all, that girl down at the Frisco's is not my girlfriend.
Okay.
And she's the farthest thing on earth, as far as I know, from a gold digger. Right. So, I mean,
So here's what I'm saying. It's getting very ugly. And what I'm saying is, Artie has, called you gay. I mean, to me, big deal. Crazy Alice calls me gay every day. I could care less. I'm not gay, and I don't think you're gay, and I don't even care if you're gay. Doesn't matter to me. I know you're not gay. But look, here's the thing. You guys are fighting dirty with one another. You should probably call a détente. Now, as far as this PSA goes, Artie has done something for George. I believe he's coming from a place where he feels sincere. It really isn't your job to say whether or not Artie is sincere on this. That's a separate issue. As far as his personal relationship with you, you two are going at each other in a very low blow kind of way. You're saying terrible things and he's saying terrible things. If it's getting very uncomfortable,
You guys should declare a détente.
Did I not say that 2 days ago?
Yes.
Did I say I'd shut my mouth if he would shut his mouth?
Right.
I forget about AIDS, Mike. Because clearly you're offended by that. I hope you die in like a bad car accident where.
Why? Why do you really feel that way?
You're in pain for 10 years.
You really feel that way?
Oh yeah.
What are you saying?
Because I don't like him. I think he's bad for the world. I hope you become a quadriplegic.
Well, I can see where that's coming from because you made fun of Artie's father.
Dad, yes.
Now, Mike, should he cut a PSA for Quadriplegics of America?
No.
You're a bozo.
No, that's cruel. But you've been cruel, too. So you both have to man up now and come to some sort of decision. Now,
I'm not mad at you, Mike. I'm mad at the fucking kid who let you out of the locker in high school. I'm mad at that do-gooder because you would have died in there of starvation. And you know what? Also, don't come in here and just try to get attention anymore. Gary's right.
Listen, I'm going to walk out.
Nobody likes you.
I allow Mike to come in here.
Howard.
Yes.
I'm going to say one thing that I won't come in here and deal with Artie ever again if that's what.
Okay.
Everybody hates me around here. That's fine.
I don't hate
care.
you.
George, if you ever want to know what Artie really thinks about you, come listen to some audio I have.
Well, wait a second. Wait. Mike, what is that about? Mike, what is that about?
Oh, gee. This is going from bad to worse.
Man, you
I don't know what kind of
Howard,
diplomat
you summed it up well.
Right.
They're
both very hurtful to one another.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, Artie, as a friend of mine.
Right.
I would like a détente here. Right. I would like you to
stop,
and I would like Mike to stop.
This poor
it's got to start from one side.
You guys are
Tell him to stop fucking coming into my territory.
Well, and if he says the same thing. So somebody's got to be the big guy, and you are the big guy.
Another fat joke?
No.
I would like you to, Artie.
You take the initiative.
Stop talking about Mike, and Mike will stop talking about you. How's that? Let's do that. Can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
That was not a sincere.
Who are you to say that's not sincere? Gary the retard is mad at Artie, and he's yelling at the radio.
What? Is he?
Every retard is.
So, High Pitch Mike does have some friends.
Uh-oh.
Gary, if you want to say something, go ahead, speak your piece.
You goddamn Mike, you motherfucker. You know what? I'm telling you fucking bullshit. I just heard you on the fucking monitor, you son of a bitch.
What are you saying?
You're saying bad things. You know what? You need to do some weight. You know what's going to happen if you don't? You're going to have a stroke, you son of a bitch.
Oh, that's actually very smart.
Now, Gary, there's some interesting. You are a High Pitch Mike fan, I guess.
Right.
And you feel Artie's out of line.
Right, he is.
You're the head of the High Pitch Mike fan club.
Well, all right. So you got mad at Artie, and specifically, look, both these guys are at fault. I mean, High Pitch Mike has said horrible things about Artie's sister and father.
Well, I know they've heard it on the monitor and in the other room.
Yeah, and so that's wrong. But again, Mike also has taken a drubbing from Artie. It's it's very painful to me.
You know what? You need to quit doing drugs and quit missing so much fucking work. I mean it.
I wish you could say something I could argue with.
He's making too much sense.
You're winning an argument for the first time?
Honestly, he's right. Mike always says shit I can argue with. Gary's making sense.
You know what? You need to get out and walk more, you son of a bitch.
And Gary, what about
another great suggestion?
Gary, what about the hot chick from Del Frisco's? Is she a gold digger?
I don't know.
You don't know that, all right.
That girl has a lawsuit, I think.
Well, I don't even know who is he talking about.
We didn't name her.
Who's he talking about? I don't even know. I don't even know where Del Frisco's is.
I couldn't point her out in a lineup.
I don't believe any chick from Del Frisco's is banging you, so don't worry.
Right.
I think it's okay.
That's true.
That's right. George Takei is here, of course. He is back from his triumphant appearance on the Conan O'Brien show. I saw some of it this morning.
Oh,
yeah,
it was
good fun.
Yeah, it was great. I should play you some of it. I'll do a couple of phone calls and I'll play the Conan O'Brien interview.
I hope he was the first guest. Did they have the...
No, I was the second guest.
Oh.
Who was first?
John Leguizamo.
You're kidding. You're not bigger than him?
Oh, my God.
Well, I don't know. Conan doesn't think so.
Are you serious?
That's the way it happened.
Does John have a pressing engagement?
Hey, just your presence, even if you weren't doing Heroes and this new celebrity talent show, you'd be bigger than him just from Star Trek.
Well, actually, I'm leaving right after this show back for L.A. because I got cast at the last minute on the Adam Sandler comedy, Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Is that a new
you're
film?
going to work with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
No kidding. You'll be great in one of those Adam Sandler films. What do you play?
They sent me a script, and
you can't figure it out.
I can't figure. They didn't send me the whole script. They just sent the side, so I can't. I really.
You mean is he like Woody Allen, and he keeps everything top secret, even from the actors?
All I got was a side. No, 1 page.
It's only 1 page.
1 page.
Oh,
and they said there are other pages, but they didn't.
Oh, they're all. Oh, I see. They just sent.
They're still writing it. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of those guys. You've seen Adam Sandler movies. Does it look like they finished the script on time?
Not even.
But he just cast me 3 days ago. Well, I was here. I found out about it while I was here.
I got to tell you, though, his movies make a lot of money.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, so it's high profile.
You're buku residuals. A lot of people.
Yeah, buku residuals is right.
But there's one big disappointment.
Yeah.
We had tickets. We were planning on staying over another night, and we had tickets for Patrick Stewart's Macbeth. And so Brad's staying over.
Right.
And I have to go back. And guess who he's taking as his date?
Artie.
No, he's taking Pam Sabian. Tim
Sabian's wife. Good.
You're going to say Jared.
Hey,
Pam. I think Pam is still pissed that Tim moved here from Philadelphia and moved them into Manhattan.
She needs some Manhattan.
No.
Pam?
Oh, she's
to her. She said she likes it.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Really?
She's a good bullshitter, Robin.
Oh.
Right. Because she's the program director's wife, she has to put on a good face. But I remember
me the truth, huh?
She had a bunch of friends in Philly. She had a great job in Philly, and Tim took the job here. He's always wanted to work in New York, but I think that she's mucho kvetching about the...
But she's a great gal.
Well, this will be a nice night
lovely
out
lady.
for her.
Yes.
And she's always pleasant around when I've seen her, but you never know.
You know what? Introduce her to some guys. Maybe...
Maybe that'll make New York seem a little brighter.
You know,
she's met Brad.
Me and George might be on this. What time's your flight?
2:30.
Oh, all right.
You're not on the same flight?
It would have been great if we were on the same flight. No, mine's at 1:30, so.
1:30.
It'd be great if we just sat together all day.
We could be sitting all morning long.
You sit here, then you sit there.
Yeah, but I'd be concerned about being on the same airplane with Artie.
Why?
What's the problem?
Well,
are you afraid the plane would be overweight?
I mean, is that a fat joke?
I'm going to be pulling up at my armrest.
Uh-oh.
You're getting awfully comfortable. You're attacking Artie.
Yeah, he's saying he's not gonna have much room in his seat if Artie sits next to him.
I think he's afraid of the plane going.
I guess the Human Rights Organization doesn't give a shit about fat people.
Well, they do.
No. I think you should be equal too, in appropriate proportions.
All right, here's the plot of the new
jokes are hurt.
Here's the plot of the new Adam Sandler movie. An Israeli commando fakes his death to pursue his dream of becoming a hairstylist in New York.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what it says on the website.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
And the title is Don't Mess with the Zohan. Is he playing Zohan?
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes, I think I've seen bits of this.
You have?
Well, believe me.
What am I playing?
Are you going to be one of the hairdressers?
I don't know. I don't think so, judging from that line.
Really?
Those lines on that one page.
Are you a customer?
I say something about, hello, stranger. And then he says something, and I say, I hope you like Ugly Betty. And that's it.
Well, you want to know something, though? The movie stands a chance of being real funny because it's written by Sandler, Bob Smigel, who does the Insult Dog, Triumph the Insult Dog, who's a real good writer, and Judd Apatow, who's got all those hit movies.
The Superbad movies.
Yeah, Superbad, Knocked Up, all those. So it might be a real good one.
It could be very funny.
Yeah, so good for you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe an Adam Sandler movie will be fun.
All right, I'll get to George's appearance on Conan in a minute. I'll play you some of that so we can hear that. In case you missed it, it's on awfully late.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hey.
I just wanted to say, George, thank you very much. You're one of a kind. I just appreciate it on behalf of all the fans.
Thank you for the compliment.
Awesome. You did great last night on on the Conan O'Brien show. That was really funny.
I'll play a little bit of that.
That's cool, man.
The only thing I take umbrage with is that George was second guest on Conan O'Brien. I believe he's the biggest star. He's not only the announcer on this show, which would make him a big star away.
If we took photographs out to the street and showed them
John Leguizamo or George Takei.
Who do you think people would be able to identify more?
Probably neither one. But, no, but George Takei, of course. I mean, come on, he's way bigger star. And you really should not have agreed to be second.
Well, I knew nothing about that.
All right, well, that's got to be looked into. I'm going to take that part over. I'm going to make sure that when George is booked on things...
He's booked first.
You stick with me, George.
Appreciate all your good help.
I'll have you off every show.
Your career will go nowhere.
It will skyrocket.
All right, here's George. Let's see, I'll play some of this. Here's George talking about... Well, you want to hear how he met us? They do bring us up.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay, here we go. I'm playing it out of order. Maybe I should just play it all, but...
Yeah, I'd love to hear it all.
Of course. You want to hear it all?
I guess unless it's extra boring.
I don't know. I didn't hear the whole thing. This part I did hear. I'll play this part first. Right. Something tells me to play this part first.
You are, of course, it's a terrific gig, announcer on the Howard Stern Show.
Ah, yes.
How did you get involved with Howard Stern? I don't understand how this even happened.
Well, in the early 90s, about 90 or 91, right. I was doing a play here. Mm-hmm. And when you're doing a play, your publicist gives you your assignment to promote the play. Right. And I didn't know Howard from Adam. I was given this address on Madison Avenue, went there. And they asked me to wait in the green room. I was seated there flipping through some magazines. Mm-hmm. And they had this radio program on. It was the coarsest, most disgusting conversation. Right. I said to the guy next to me, why can't they get some nice music on? I mean, this is really offensive. Right. He said, that's the show we're waiting to go on.
You had no idea who Howard Stern was?
I had no idea. Wow. I was taken aback. Yeah. And then they came to usher me to the studio. Met this tall, skinny, wild-haired guy. Yeah. And I said, good morning, how are you? And he said, oh, you have a deep voice. Anyone with a voice that deep has got to have a big dong. I said, are we on the air? Yeah. And that was my introduction to Howard Stern.
It's not really it's not exactly the Charlie Rose show.
That is the way it happened, right, Howard?
Yeah, I guess so. I'll take your word for it.
It was a memorable meeting.
Yes. Well, it's worked out rather well, don't you think?
It certainly has.
Yeah, we're an odd couple, but yet we've united. Let's see what else you talked about.
The relationship has grown over the years.
You talked about William Shatner a little bit. I don't think I heard that. Let me hear that.
You have been very public about your, I don't want to say the word disdain, but your hate for William Shatner. You and William Shatner, you didn't like William Shatner all those years that you were making Star Trek. You thought he was a little overbearing. It got on your nerves. You used to talk about it a little bit. Last year, you got to roast him. It was a William Shatner roast. You got to get up and roast him, and you really went after him. That must have been cathartic for you, right?
Oh, we have a 40-plus year history. Yeah. And, all the others are good friends. I mean, we are.
You like the rest of these Star Trek gang.
Wonderful people.
Yeah.
But Bill has always been, for example, 40 years together, and he still couldn't pronounce my surname properly.
You're George Takei.
Yeah, but he kept pronouncing it Takei. Right. And I kept correcting him. I couldn't get it into his noggins. Right. So I thought I'd give him a way to rhyme that would stick with his head.
Easy for him to remember, yeah.
I told him, Bill, it's Takei, just like your toupee. Rhymes with toupee.
Right.
Into his noggin, so I got it on his noggin.
You got,
real good. He delivered that well.
Could have done better. I'm still critical.
You also got very racy in your celebrity roast.
Racy?
Yeah, it.
Oh. Well, the other thing about Bill, he has a special acting style. It's very staccato, gasping,
Right. You've got to.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And I thought it sucked. And so, I told him if I could get my partner to suck that hard, I'd never leave.
Wow. What? Who wrote this for you?
They didn't bleep that? That's great.
Yeah, I asked, can I say that on the, on the Conan show?
This show has rubbed off on you.
It certainly has.
Wow.
You have been a broadening and
you're liberating,
specifying influence.
Do you think 5 years ago you would have talked like that on
I don't
the talk
think
show?
so.
Absolutely not.
No.
You are out of control.
Well, you've been my example. It's been liberating.
Well, you're a good talk show guest.
That was actually a joke from the roast, though, right?
It was.
Yeah, he was leading him into the
I like
roast.
that. I like that. Look at the applause.
They love it.
Oh, okay then.
You know what it is, George? Years ago.
I don't think John Leguizamo got these kind of laughs.
No. You know what it is, George?
Yes.
You're right that he didn't. The thing of it is, your honesty, talking about Shatner's toupee, talking about you thought his acting style sucked, coming out and talking about dong. See,
that was your word.
Yes, but this is still refreshing. You know what I mean? It's a new you, I feel. I really do.
Well, I grew up closeted and
repressed,
compartmentalized.
Yes.
And so, that sort of shapes the rest of your life.
Right.
And then once I met you, literally, it is you,
Mm-hmm.
and I started listening to you and seeing how free you were. And then I saw how free you were with important issues of our times, political, social.
So you're letting it out, too. You're
Exactly.
emulating this. Yes, I like that.
Now, you're my role model, Howard Stern.
Back on Conan now.
Whoa, yeah.
At this hour.
Suddenly Brand doesn't sound so cool, does it?
What was the Brand reference? I guess that happened earlier, huh?
I don't know what he's
talking about. I see.
Got in our contact.
What did William Shatner say to you after the celebrity roast?
Oh, that.
Well,
did he say anything to you?
Well, I went up to him.
Yeah.
And, gave him a big hug.
Right.
And he whispered into my ears, "You really meant that, didn't you?"
And what did you say?
I just said, "Good luck, Bill."
Yeah. Live long and prosper.
Oh. What do you think, Artie? You're a talk show veteran. I mean, that was good stuff, right?
Absolutely fantastic.
Well, you recognize that his acting suck bit.
Yeah, because we were at the roast together.
Right.
And as great as he was on Conan, he probably killed harder than anybody at the roast,
Really?
too. I mean, he just delivers a joke perfect.
Do you want to hear more?
Sure.
All right, everybody, we're back. My next guest played Sulu on Star Trek, and beginning next Tuesday, you can see him on the new CBS show, Secret Talents of the Stars. We're thrilled he's here. Please welcome George Takei.
I like that version of the song.
Isn't it?
You're here, George.
Live long and prosper.
That was... Wait a minute, that was Spock.
Well, I mean, a good greeting we all incorporate.
Everyone
into our
should live
lives.
long and prosper. Be he
Exactly.
Vulcan or...
Well, Vulcans are long-lived, about 200 years.
Yes, they live to 200 years.
But I was told by a doctor that our machines, our human bodies, are programmed to be operative for about 135 years. And it's what we do to it or not do for it that the machine breaks down before that full operative life.
Hear that, Artie? If I just drink a lot of, distilled water and eat vegetables, I'll live to 135?
No. Moderation in everything. Eat healthy, lots of fiber, take lots of sleep.
Wait a minute. Who just wooed fiber? What the hell is that? That's what I love about the younger generation. Fiber! Whoa! If he mentions fiber tonight, I'm going to woo.
That's pretty good. And then you went on to talk about something that I think we've spoken about on this show, but it's still so interesting that you started his first job in, as a Screen Actor Guild member was voicing those old Godzilla movies.
Oh, yes.
Because they were all done in Japanese. When they came over to this country, they needed somebody to play the male role. And George, of course, played one of the male roles of the Japanese guys in the
I did
Godzilla.
about 8 or 9 voices.
Yeah. It's amazing. And then, you talk about you have to match the lip syncing.
Well, that never worked.
And yeah, and
well, you're going to
George
get an
said,
example of that.
George said it's tough because Japanese, is so different from anything English. And then, what was the word in Japanese?
Takayaro, which means stupid fool or you foolish thing, you.
But the lips didn't move the right way to say stupid fool. Right. So what was the word they put in?
Banana oil.
Banana oil. And then
how does that work with...
Conan found the clip from the actual Godzilla movie.
Wow.
And in fact, instead of saying stupid fool, George says banana oil. It's crazy.
And it fits the lip movement.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit the script.
So here it is. Listen, this is the actual movie. This is the actual movie.
You got to see the scene, too.
Now, I have to ask you about this.
Oh, wait. Here, I'll see if I can find the clip. Maybe I don't even have it. I don't have it.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's pretty visual, too, because you got to watch the lip.
Yeah, you need to see it. But anyway, it was a good appearance on Conan O'Brien's show for George.
Home run.
Home run.
Thank you. It was good fun.
Big week for you.